International Space Station at a height of about 400 kilometers above the Earth. But back in San Jose at a mere
Welcome
25
to Gabby
meters
Dave
above sea
Global.
level, here's
We
Chief
are a
with the credits.
UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products.
World Service.
We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
On this week's Cultural Frontline, we speak to the award-winning New Zealand director Jane Campion about her multi-Oscar nominated movie The Power of the Dog.
Often I think the Western genre is written by people that are romancing the world. This is a true reflection, but a subversive one. It really peels that onion of overt masculinity.
Egyptian-American Dina Amer on her film You Resemble Me about the young woman originally thought to be Europe's first female suicide bomber. And writer-director and actor Leah Purcell explains why her role as Molly Johnson in The Drover's Wife has personal meaning.
Molly Johnson represented my mother. My mother was my mother, my father. Those women, my grandmother, my mother, I wanted to put the essence of them into a strong character.
All that and more on the Cultural Frontline after the latest world news.
BBC News. Hello, this is Jerry Smith. Ukraine says Russia's idea that Ukrainian civilians should be allowed safe passage via corridors leading to Russia and Belarus is completely immoral. Officials said people trapped in cities under Russian bombardment should be allowed to escape to Ukrainian territory. The deputy mayor of the port of Mariupol, where 2 weekend attempts to evacuate civilians collapsed within minutes, said the city could not organise the rescue operation on territory it did not control. Lise Doucette is our chief international correspondent.
Today again, there will be an effort to allow people from this besieged, encircled city of Mariupol, where people have been living without electricity, without running water, without being able to bury their dead or help their injured. They will try to escape again. The road has been mined, there has been shelling, but the statement from the Russian Defense Ministry this morning blamed the Ukrainians and said the Ukrainians have to accept the rules that were agreed in order to allow civilians to find safety.
More than 1 million people fleeing the war in Ukraine have now sought refuge in neighbouring Poland. The Polish Border Guard Agency says more than 40,000 have arrived in the first 6 hours of Monday alone. Fighting has continued, with suburbs of Kyiv coming under further attack. In Mykolaiv, in southern Ukraine, rocket strikes are reported to have caused fires in residential areas. Filippo Grandi is the head of the UN's refugee agency.
We must not forget that one purpose of the corridors is also to bring supplies to the besieged and bombarded cities. And organizations like mine, but many others in the UN, the Red Cross, have been ready for days now to go with convoys inside those cities.
Investors' uncertainty about the conflict has prompted a sell-off in global stock markets. Shares in Hong Kong and Tokyo closed more than 3% down. The trading week in Europe began with losses on all major indexes. At one point, stocks in Milan fell by 6%. There's been a big jump in the value of wholesale gas in Europe. Theo Leggett is our business correspondent.
What seems to be happening is there's an awful lot of competition for liquid natural gas shipments as people try and stock up in case there's any interruption to gas flows from Russia. Russia accounts for about 40% of Europe's gas, so that's quite significant as well. But we're also seeing a range of commodities go up in price. Remember, a lot of them come from Russia. Aluminium, we get aluminium supplies from Russia. We get supplies of fertilizers from Russia. So all of this coming together is creating a big price crunch.
News from the BBC. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has held talks with the Lithuanian President and Foreign Minister on the situation in Ukraine. He'll later visit Latvia and Estonia during the day. All three Baltic nations are keenly aware of Russia's regional threat. In 1940, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania were annexed by the Soviet Union. They're the only former Soviet republics to have joined NATO. Russia has failed to appear at the International Court of Justice in The Hague, which is considering an emergency ruling requiring Moscow to stop its invasion. The court president announced that Russia would not be participating in the proceedings. Ukraine's representative at the court, Anton Korinovich, denounced Russia's failure to attend.
The fact that Russia's seats are empty speaks loudly. They are not here in this court of law. They are on a battlefield, waging aggressive war against my country. This is how Russia solves disputes. But Ukraine has another position and respects international law and this court of law.
The Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has urged China to end what he described as its tacit political and economic support for the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Mr. Morrison said the unfolding events there were a moment of choice for Beijing. Speaking in Sydney, Mr. Morrison said no country in the world at the moment would have a greater impact on the Kremlin's violent aggression towards Ukraine than China. One other story, police in Thailand say the Australian cricket star Shane Warne died of natural causes. The 52-year-old was found unresponsive on the resort island of Koh Samui on Friday. The spokesman for the Thai police said the player's family had been informed of the result of a post-mortem and accepted it. Shane Warne is considered one of the greatest Test cricketers of all time. BBC News.
Hello, I'm Anu Anand.
Lithuanians understand the critical importance of every nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity being respected, having lived through decades of Soviet occupation. A forcible occupation that the United States always refused to recognize. In recent years, Moscow has sought to undermine Lithuania's democracy and sow polarization within its population through cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns. That's because the free, open, vibrant, prosperous society that the people of Lithuania have built since the end of Soviet occupation shows what's possible when people choose the path of democracy over autocracy. It's why the United States supported and advocated for Lithuania's membership in NATO and the European Union. And this country, Lithuania, has consistently made outsized contributions to both organizations. Lithuania's commitment to freedom was evident at the Summit for Democracy that President Biden convened late last year, where Vilnius pledged to expand its efforts to support and provide refuge to pro-democracy activists from Belarus and Russia, to promote international accountability measures for gross human rights violations, to increase support for media freedom and the safety of journalists. How prescient and necessary those commitments proved to be. In the face of the current crisis, the United States and Lithuania are united in our resolve to stand with Ukraine. We're surging security assistance to strengthen Ukraine's capacity to defend itself. We're increasing humanitarian aid to the Ukrainian people. We're raising the costs on the Kremlin and all who aid and enable it for continuing this war of choice. And we're bolstering our shared defense so that we and our allies are prepared to meet any threat. The United States has deployed an additional 7,000 forces to Europe. We've repositioned forces already in Europe to strengthen NATO's eastern flank. That includes the extension, as of last week, of the U.S. Army's 366 Armored Battalion, which was deployed to Lithuania in July, the deployment of F-35 strike fighters to the region to augment NATO's enhanced air policing mission. An additional 400 personnel from the 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team will be arriving in Lithuania in the days to come. The United States' commitment to Article 5, an attack on one is an attack on all, that commitment is sacrosanct. And as President Biden repeated to the American people in his State of the Union address just a few days ago, we will defend every inch of NATO territory if it comes under attack. No one should doubt our readiness. No one should doubt our resolve. Over the past several weeks, I authorized allies to provide U.S. origin defense equipment to our Ukrainian partners. Lithuania stepped up with Stinger anti-aircraft missiles, M72 light anti-tank weapons, and other supplies to help the extraordinarily courageous Ukrainian people defend their country from Russian aggression. Vilnius is also sending about 4 million euros in emergency medical assistance for Ukraine, 30 truckloads packed with aid, urgently needed, given the growing carnage that's being inflicted by the Kremlin's sieges and attacks on civilians. When the Lithuanian Red Cross issued a call just last week for donations to help people in Ukraine, it filled 50 trucks the very first day. We see blue and yellow flags hanging from homes and businesses across this country. And a Lithuanian NGO has reportedly registered nearly 6,000 households willing to take in Ukrainian refugees. The Ukrainians who eventually arrive in Lithuania will join hundreds of anti-corruption activists, opposition politicians, journalists, human rights defenders who already have found safe haven here after being forced to flee attacks, threats, imprisonment in Russia and Belarus in recent years. Vilnius is the temporary home of Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, the leader of Belarus's pro-democracy movement, with whom I've had the privilege of meeting on several occasions, including most recently in Munich during the security conference. We're very grateful to Lithuania for hosting the State Department's Belarus Affairs Unit, led by Ambassador Julie Fisher. That unit is focused on supporting the democratic aspirations of the Belarusian people and holding the Lukashenko regime accountable for its widespread human rights violations. Until last May, Vilnius also provided refuge for Belarusian blogger and dissident Roman Protasevich, until a commercial jet that he was traveling on was intercepted by a Belarusian fighter jet, and he was arbitrarily detained. We join Lithuania in continuing to call for his immediate release and the release of all people being unjustly detained in Russia and in Belarus, including the growing number arrested for protesting the Kremlin's ongoing war. Yesterday alone, the Russian government reportedly detained more than 4,600 people demonstrating against the war in 65 Russian cities and towns. Vilnius recognizes that a threat to the rules-based order anywhere has the potential to weaken it everywhere. This includes the principle that every nation is free to associate with whom it chooses. That's why we respect and support Lithuania's decision to expand commercial ties with Taiwan, another leading democracy. Beijing has responded to Vilnius' decision with economic coercion and political pressure designed to divide the European Union and punishing Lithuania into reversing course. We support the EU's decision to launch a legal challenge against China at the WTO. We have to defend the rules that keep trade fair. Beijing talks a lot about the importance of upholding international order, stability, respecting sovereignty. But from its coercion of Vilnius to its failure thus far to condemn Moscow's flagrant violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine, today and in 2014, Beijing's actions are speaking much louder than its words. The United States continues to stand by Lithuania and the right of every nation to choose its own path. We're supporting Lithuania as it reorients its supply chains and deepens its economic resilience. In November, we created a $600 million Export-Import Bank credit facility here, and that will help facilitate U.S. exports to Lithuania, but also help Lithuanian businesses in the sectors that have been hardest hit by the PRC's measures, like semiconductors, like biotechnology. Our Undersecretary for Economic Affairs, Jose Fernandez, was just here with colleagues from the Export-Import Bank to support these efforts and deepen our economic cooperation. As Lithuania continues to stand for these principles, it can count on the United States to stand with it. Thank you.
Now is the time for questions. Žilvinas Adomaitis from Lithuanian National Television. Žygintas Abramaitis.
On behalf of whole Lithuanian media, it's a question for you, Mr. Blinken. President Nausėda warned about World War III if Putin is not stopped, but it looks like the only war could stop him, and not sanctions or political pressure or even deterrence. Putin is now saying that he'll go till the end, and Russia is threatening NATO countries over support of Ukraine. You keep saying that you'll defend every inch of NATO territory. So, will you send American troops to the Baltic region permanently, air defense systems? Where is the red line? After crossing it, NATO will enter the war directly, and how likely Russia is ready to start a nuclear war? And furthermore, could you confirm that Poland will send fighter jets in exchange for American F-16s? Thank you.
Thank you very much. A few things. First, as I noted, in response to Russia's aggression against Ukraine, one of the things we did is exactly what we said we'd do for many, many months, which is in the event of Russian aggression, we would reinforce NATO's eastern flank. And that's exactly what we've done. And we're in the midst of continuing to do that now, including with the deployment of additional forces, including American forces here to Lithuania, F-35 fighters, various pieces of important equipment, all of which is being deployed here, deployed to the other states in the Baltics. At the same time, we're continuously reviewing within NATO our defense posture, including looking at questions of extending the deployment of forces, looking at questions of more permanent deployments. All of that is under regular review, and we're engaged with NATO allies in doing just that. Gabrielius and I were just at a meeting of the NATO foreign ministers a few days ago in Brussels, and this is one of the issues, of course, that came up. Second, we said a few other things for many, many months as we saw, the two of us, our countries, the likelihood of Russian aggression against Ukraine. And even as we tried everything we could to push Russia to a diplomatic path to try to resolve whatever concerns it had that might be, that anyone would consider legitimate through diplomacy and dialogue, even as we were doing that, we said that we would be fully prepared if it chose the path of aggression. We said that we would reinforce NATO's eastern flank. We are. We said that we would come to the aid of Ukraine by providing it more and more assistance. We are. We said that we would impose massive consequences on Russia for its aggression. We are. And I think those consequences, the severity of the economic sanctions and other measures that have been taken, are well beyond what I think many people anticipated and are certainly unprecedented. And they are having a dramatic impact already. We see the ruble going through the floor. We see Russia's credit rating coming basically to zero, to junk status, as we would call it. We see its stock market shut down. We see an exodus of virtually every leading company from Russia. All of those things are happening. They're happening in real time. At the same time, other steps that we've taken, including export controls on the most important technology that Russia needs to modernize for the future, including its defense and aerospace industries, including its energy sector, that technology is being denied to Russia. That's going to have a powerful impact over time. We're also seeing the effect of the assistance that we have been able to provide to Ukraine, and we're continuing to provide to Ukraine, in Ukraine when it comes to the incredible courage they're showing and the effectiveness they're having in standing against Russian aggression. So, all of these things, as we said, are happening. They're having an impact. Having said that, it's also true and clear that Russia has a hugely disproportionate force compared to what Ukraine has. It has the ability to continue to grind down the Ukrainian military and, of course, to take horrific actions against the Ukrainian people, including attacking civilians. We want this to come to a stop as quickly as possible, which is why we will continue to increase pressure on Russia, continue to support Ukraine. But as I said yesterday, even if and as Russia might win a battle in Ukraine, that doesn't mean it's winning the war. If and as Russia might take a city in Ukraine, that doesn't mean that it's taking the hearts and minds of the Ukrainian people. It can't, it won't. And whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whether it's longer, I'm utterly convinced that Ukraine will prevail. Finally, when it comes to NATO, the line is very clear, and I'll repeat it. If there is any aggression anywhere on NATO territory, on NATO countries, we, the United States, all of our allies and partners, will take action to defend every inch of NATO territory. It's as clear and direct as that.
Simon Lewis, Reuters, your question, please.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this. For Secretary Blinken, I wondered if you would be able to comment on reports that the US believes that Russia has begun recruiting Syrians to fight in the war in Ukraine. And to the Foreign Minister, even before this invasion of Ukraine and the current tense security situation, Lithuania was already dealing with the threat from another power of economic and diplomatic pressure from China over your stance towards Taiwan. You know, how can you balance those two threats, and what can the United States provide? What are you asking for the United States to provide to help you deal with both of those? Thank you.
I'm happy to start. Simon, I've seen the reports that you refer to. I can't confirm them at this time.
Well, I think that, and as Secretary Blinken mentioned, both cases are about defending a similar principle. One power is challenging the rules-based order when it comes to the borders of other countries, when it comes to geopolitics, when it comes to the security architecture of, one might say Europe, but I would say that it's a global architecture, because it doesn't matter where the country is. Is it in Indo-Pacific? Is it in Europe? Is it in any other continent? Every country has hopes and wants guarantees that its borders, sovereignty, will not be violated. The other power is trying to bend globally agreed rules of trade, and is trying to use trade as a political instrument, in some cases even as a weapon, to force countries to change the course, no matter that it's legal, no matter that it's a sovereign right of the country to do so. So, not by our design, Lithuania becomes a case of defending both principles, and becomes a country which in some cases leads by example what it means to defend the global rules-based order, be it geopolitical or economic.
Thank you.
So that is the scene in Vilnius, where US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been speaking alongside the Lithuanian Foreign Minister. And of course, Antony Blinken there describing the scene at the moment in Russia. He said that the war is the invasion he described as unprovoked and unjustified. And he reaffirmed US commitment to NATO's Article 5. And you heard him there saying that an attack on one is an attack on all. That is sacrosanct, he added there. Now let's bring in our correspondent Laura Bundock, who is in Brussels for us now. Laura, what do you make of the words coming out from Antony Blinken? Because indeed, one of the first questions that was put to him was, where is the red line? At what stage do you send troops to the ground?
into Ukraine. Well, he made it very clear, didn't he, that NATO is acting defensively, and that's why he's there in the Baltic states at the moment, in Lithuania this morning, heading on to Latvia this afternoon, very much stressing the US's commitment to its NATO allies and reinforcement of its eastern flank, and more troops being sent to Lithuania. And he said in the coming days another 400 US troops will be arriving in the country to help with the effort there. But I think his language very much one, perhaps looking to the long term. He said he believed that Ukraine will prevail. He said Russia might be winning the battles, but it doesn't mean it will win the war. He said Russia taking cities does not mean it will take the hearts and the minds of Ukrainians. And you're right, when it comes to Article 5, an attack on one, an attack on all for NATO, he stressed it twice, didn't he, saying that this is absolutely ironclad, sacrosanct, as he put it, in terms of what would happen. He said at the end there, if there is any aggression on NATO territory, the US and NATO allies will take action to defend every inch, and it could not be as clear a direction as that. So I think reinforcing in the strongest possible terms his determination that, these countries like Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, worried about their borders with Russia, and Lithuania bordering Belarus as well, that they are putting troops on the ground there to defend every single square mile of those countries, and that any incursion towards those countries would be seen as a very aggressive move on the part of Russia, and that would definitely spark much bigger action. For now, though, the hope is that the defensive measures being taken by NATO will be enough, but clearly it's not enough to stop the Russian invasion of Ukraine at the moment, because it moves apace. But I think the strongest diplomatic words we've heard from Blinken on his European tour, like I say, is off to Latvia later on today, and then on to Estonia tomorrow too.
From Brussels, thank you. Well, on the ground in Ukraine, Russia says there's now a temporary ceasefire in some parts of Ukraine to allow civilians to leave. It's the third attempt at setting up humanitarian corridors after Ukraine accused Russian forces of continuing to fire during previous attempts. Well, let's take you through the latest developments now. And Russia's defense ministry says humanitarian corridors opened at 7 o'clock this morning, UK time, to allow civilians to escape from Kiev, Mariupol, Kharkiv and Sumy after two failed attempts to allow civilians to leave Mariupol. A third round of talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators is scheduled to take place in Belarus today, according to the Sputnik Belarus news agency. Only around 50 UK visas have so far been granted to Ukrainian refugees, and that's despite more than 10,000 people applying for the family visa scheme. And the cost of Brent crude oil has reached its highest level since 2008, passing $139 a barrel earlier this morning. Well, speaking on Sky News this morning, the Europe Minister James Cleverly admitted that only a small number of visas have been granted, but insisted that the process has only just started.
We have processes in place whereby people with family here in the UK, and indeed those without family in the UK, can come to the UK. You say that only small numbers have come thus far, and I would remind you that the process has only just started, and the vast majority of people are physically still in the countries neighbouring neighbouring Ukraine. That is where we are providing the support initially, because that's where the problem currently is. We want to help these people.
Well, the Russian Defense Ministry said the military would hold fire in certain locations this morning to allow for evacuation of civilians. The ministry said the humanitarian corridors have been set up at the request of French President Emmanuel Macron to allow civilians to safely leave the cities of Kiev, Kharkiv, Sumy and Mariupol. But the majority of routes lead to Belarus and Russia, something a spokesman for President Zelensky has said is immoral. He said citizens of Ukraine should have the right to evacuate elsewhere in Ukraine. Our special correspondent Alex Crawford has the latest now from near Kiev.
Yeah, you're joining us in a key area which is just outside Kiev. It's very logistically important because this is...
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
We serve a miracle working God. There is nothing too hard for him.
Join Prophet Ajimai Prempe for this year's double portion London Summit at the London Marriott Hotel, Maidavale, London, NW6 5RP from Friday 11th March through to Sunday 13th. Details are as follows: Friday 11th March 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday 12th of March 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday 13th of March 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come and experience the prophetic like never before and hear the word of the Lord for your life. Please call 077-60-276-394 or visit www.prophetprempe.org for more details.
A miracle working God. He's a miracle working God.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 074 98911 or you can visit our website www.worldlamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@worldlamp@gmail.com. World Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
World. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and this is Hello, good morning, and welcome to Starr Radio UK, wherever you are this morning. Today is the 7th day of the 3rd month, that is March, the year 2022. And of course, it's the Monday edition of the morning show. And I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show, Archie.
But wherever you are listening to us from across the globe, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, whichever is applicable to you. And those of you on other planets as well, we salute you all and we say welcome to the show. Playing in the background, something from Nana Manuel. Say, God will do it for you. A new week in the third month. Some way, somehow, God does it, doesn't He? Or whatever you might believe in, but I believe that God does it. Therefore, keep on holding on to your faith. Don't throw in the towel. You'll get through it. There are tough times ahead, but hey, brace yourself. Okie dokie do. Let me say good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi, Kojo D. HRH Linda Pallien all the way in Cyprus, to the one and only Felix all the way in Aberdeen who is listening to us this morning. Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, Master, good morning to you. Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama, I salute you. Dr. Martin, I hope the program went well. And then a special good morning also goes to Mr. David Klochai. David, how are you doing and the family, sir? To our listeners in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, and those of you on the African continent, especially Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, South Africans who listen to us, we salute you all. But a special good morning to Tosino all the way in Moscow. Tosino, I hope you are doing very well. And to all our lovely listeners who are listening to us in Ukraine, but now we don't know where you are. If you are listening to us still there, somewhere, wherever you are, get in touch with us. Send us a message, let us know where you are. It will be nice to know that you are doing well as well. But enjoy the song.
Semina Musuma, everybody. Semina Mujimusa, Semina Mamani Muswa, Semina Misoshima, Semi Coco, Manimukra, Yesu. I believe. Semi Coco, Manimwa, Yesu,
Well, let me say good morning to the Hammonds in Ghana as well. Delta, Alfred, and all you wonderful people there listening to us as well. I salute you all. To the Betwells. And it's very special happy birthday belated to all of you who celebrated your birthdays over the weekend. Mrs. Juliet Nyamedi, massive good morning to you and a belated happy birthday to you. Paige Sihine, happy birthday to you as well. And to every one of you who celebrated your birthday and we didn't have the chance to wish you, I wish you all a happy birthday and open heavens for you. Okay, let's crack on. Now, by one program outline, there will be some new changes that I'm going to be announcing to you. Changes to some of the times that some of the programs comes on the morning show. Okay, so I'll bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast, and the travel update to follow suit as normal. And then we'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds. Exactly at 11 o'clock, we're having Mr. Olayomi joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll then continue from there to look at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. We'll be having Kojo D and all the other team members are joining in as well to share their take on issues that is going on there. Felix there as well. And then we'll move on from there. Exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. And then exactly at 12:40 instead of 12:45, we'll be having HRH Linda Pallien joining us on Career 101. Okay, so in a gist, that's what we're going to be doing for today. So once again, welcome to the show. Brace yourself. Exactly at 1 o'clock, we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. I remain yours sincerely, Archie. You're faithfully. Okay, the quote for the day says, hard work is an essential element for labor or of labor. Hard work is an essential element of labor. Sometimes you stretch. Well, that's it. You are going on. Continue. You'll get to your destination one day. For sure. Put your back into it. Okay, when it comes to the weather front, I thought I'm going to be having a sunny day, but I woke up this morning a bit of a mixture of cloud and all sorts there as well. But when it comes to London and the southeast of England, this is how the weather is going to be for you. This morning we'll see a chilly start with sunshine and patchy amounts of cloud, turning increasingly sunny into the afternoon. Gentle to moderate winds expected as well. And tonight, the first part of the night will see variable amounts of cloud and a few clear spells, turning increasingly clear through the rest of the night, along with a strengthening breeze. The temperature is going to be 7 degrees and the lower is going to be 0. UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low, sunset 17:51 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:34 hours. What is the weather like yours in where you are? Share with us and I share with our worldwide listeners. That is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. 10:45 the time. Let's take a quick break and once we come back, I'll bring you the travel updates. Stay tuned, don't you go away. Don't you worry. The song, you can hear it in full in the next few moments.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yeah, so keep your eyes on the roads. So we're keeping navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio UK travel update. I comes to every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:45. So what is happening on the travel this morning on the underground? Apart from the northern line, that has got path closures until mid-May. All the others have got good service. Yes, everything is working nicely after that last week's strikes. Okay, and the landing overground goods service, TFL Rail Neil landed rumbling goods service there as well. Moving on straight to the river bus, apart from the Woolwich ferry that is still suspended, all the others good service. But keep your eyes on the roads, so we'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio travel up there comes to every weekday from 10:40. Okay, on the National Rail this morning, Cross Country, First Transparent Express, Gatwick Express have all got special service. Now, Grand Central has got minor delays, and then Great Northern, Great Western Railway, London Northeastern Railway, ScotRail, and Southwestern Railway, all special service. And finally, Southern and Thames Link has also got special service. But keep your eyes on the roads, as we keep you navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now gone 10:47. Now on the final segment of the travel update, that's the major roads in London. This is what is happening there. A316 has got closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Routes closures, A13 serious delays, A21 serious delays, Blackwall Tunnel serious delays there as well. And that's how we say all the time. Well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
We serve a miracle working God. There is nothing too hard for him.
Join Prophet Ajimai Prempe for this year's double portion London Summit at the London Marriott Hotel, Maida Vale, London, NW6 5RP from Friday 11th March through to Sunday 13th. Details are as follows: Friday 11th March 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday 12th of March 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday 13th of March 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come and experience the prophetic like never before and hear the word of the Lord for your life. Please call 077-60-276-394 or visit www.prophetprempe.org for more details.
A miracle working God. He's a miracle working God.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 10:50. That means 10 minutes to the top of the hour. And let's go global trotting. Now, what's happening across the globe? As you know, top of the agenda or top of the story is the Ukraine, the war, Russia unleashing its venom on Ukraine. Let me put it that way. That's the main story. As I've been asking over the weekend, I was asking questions. I was asking a few people. I said, how far will Russia go? And then this morning, listening to some conversation or some discussions between some top group, I found out that some are thinking that we should call it a bluff. We should call Putin's bluff. And then let's get a no-fly zone or get all out to help the Ukrainians. But with what has happened so far in Ukraine, I mean, look at the devastation and the destruction that has taken place in the country at the moment. Do you think there's a point for us to now come out to do that? Or we just leave things as they are? And then let's say, if they dare cross to any of the NATO countries, then some action is going to be taken. What do you think about all that? We'll be having a time to have a look at that. Well, it will be interesting. It will be quite interesting. Well, now let's move on to or start from home here in the UK. Now, world leaders in London for Ukraine talks. That's information coming through. World leaders, Boris Johnson is to hold talks with the Canadian and Dutch prime ministers in London as Western powers prepare to agree further sanctions on Russia. The UK Parliament is also set to pass legislation to target money laundering by oligarchs close to Vladimir Putin. But the government's refugee policy is coming under scrutiny after it was confirmed over the weekend that about 50 Ukrainians had been granted visas so far, and people are saying that doesn't go far enough. The speed at which we are doing that is quite incomprehensible. But what do you think about that? Yeah, Ukraine. Okay, one death after Scottish trawler capsizes over of Norway. He was one of the 3 crew members airlifted to hospital from the Peterhead registered yard. Okay, and no need to panic over Scotland's COVID increases. The National Clinical Director says higher numbers are inevitable as we go about for our businesses. So the other question I was asking someone, was it yesterday over the weekend, was that if it happens that you contract COVID, okay, because we're going around now, everybody's just moving around, no mask, no, you can put on your mask, but it's not compulsory. It's voluntarily. If you want to do it, you can do it. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a monkeys. And we are mingling and doing all sorts. Now, if you find out you've tested positive, will you stay away? Or is it that the way that you are feeling will make you stay away. But if you are not feeling that bad, you just get on with it and go spreading it. What do you think? And even people even doing any test or taking any test to find out that whether they are positive or negative. What do you think about that? Well, it is All Star Radio UK. Serious crash. Closing the section of M4. Emergency services say the stretch of the motorway in Berkshire will be closed for several hours. So if you are traveling that way, please be warned. Okay, a shooting star caught on 1 in a million family snap. Wow, that's an interesting one. And GB win 2 more Paralympic bronzes. Some of stories making the rounds there. 10:54 the time. Star Radio UK. We'll be having Mr. Olayomi on exactly at 11 o'clock to bring you updates from Nigeria. Now moving on to other parts of the world. As we said, the main story, the main one. Ukraine anger as Putin offers evacuation routes to Russia. Now, what does he want? Is he trying to get the Ukrainians into Russia? So the safe zone that they're creating, yeah, if you go to Russia or Belarus, then you'll be safe there. But you cannot go to any part of Ukraine. Is that cool? Or the western part of Ukraine, you can go there. Okay, Ukraine says a proposal of humanitarian corridors taking refugees to Belarus or Russia is completely immoral. Now, under the circumstance, these people, if they continue to, live at that particular place, there could be blasts that could kill them. So, if, though they might not like Russia or Belarus, do you think that they have to still go there? Well, let us hear your take on that. Protests across Russia see thousands detained. As we know, Shen Wen died from natural causes. Thai police says there is no sign of, there's no sign of foul play in the cricketer's death while on holiday in Koh Samui. Okay, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The West fights back against Putin, the disruptor. Several US presidents have failed to get the measure of him, but now Europe has joined the fray. Things may change. Do you think things may change? Well, it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. And then some other stories making the round. At least 26 injured in Mexico violence. At least 26 people are injured as violence breaks out among the crowd at a top flight match in Mexico. Well. New Honduras government to ban open pit mining. Honduras exports gold, silver, zinc, and lead. But the new government says the industry is harmful. So how are they going to deal with that? Well, and more of that going to be coming your way. And then the Nicaragua government criticizes critics guilty of conspiracy. Nicaragua government critics guilty of conspiracy. 3 of the 7 defendants have planned to run against President Ortega in 2021, but they are all being charged with conspiracy. To do what? To overthrow the government or what? That is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now moving on straight to other stories making the rounds. Indian doctor stranded with panther in Ukraine war. Gikom Patel who bought 2 big cats, said he will not leave home without his pets. We see what happens on that front. If it's your life or your pets, what will you do? If you're listening to us, interesting. Maybe you're a lover of animals. Who doesn't love animals? I love mosquitoes. What about that? Well, trapped Africans drinking melted snow in Ukraine city. Trapped Africans drinking melted snow in Ukraine city. The city of Sumy has been left without water and electricity after bombardment. And if you look at the discrimination that was taking place in the various border countries for people who were fleeing this war, and you look at what was happening, and some who might think that it's better for us to stay here and die. When we were having discussions a couple of weeks ago about the repatriation, there were some people who said, we don't want to even go to our country. So they are prepared to live there and maybe die there. But you look at the devastation that is going on, and the fact that there's no water and electricity and also that now they have to depend on what melted snow as water. Then I think it's about time something is done. Now, okay, Nigeria is banned from going to fight in Ukraine. The Ukrainian embassy has said that a number of Nigerians had indicated willingness to join the war, but Nigerians have been banned. We'll be talking about that in a moment. Ex-President Zuma backs Putin in Ukraine conflict. Interesting. Now, Jacob Zuma says Russia's invasion of Ukraine was justifiable and described Putin as a man of peace. Okay, this is a lot more going to be coming your way. Well, when it comes to Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari on Sunday departed Abuja for routine medical checkup in London. A drug deal, NDLE, arranged Abba Kairi and 6 others to cut over $65,000 drug deal there. A vehicular movement grounded at APC Secretariat amid high security presence that is in Abuja. An evacuation of Nigerian students trapped in Ukraine begins on Monday. The residents converged to fetch groundnut oil from a tanker that fell in Ojo in Lagos. Now, interestingly, at least with this groundnut, or peanut oil. Okay, that peanut butter oil. Okay, is that what I'll say? Yeah, but when it's fuel or petrol or anything, and the people want to rush there to go and fetch it, then I say you want your life to be taken. But well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. When people are impoverished, that is what they do. They see any opportunity and they want to just hang on. Number of COVID deaths reached the grim milestone of 6 million. Some of the other stories making the rounds there as well. And please take over APC headquarters in Abuja. Mr. Olayomi will be telling you military coups in Africa. The re-emergence of opportunist putkists. That's what Rashid Akin-Koli is saying. We'll be bringing you more on that. Do you think is a writing and deep-seated misinformation affecting e-levy acceptance? That's what the finance minister in Ghana is saying. Mr. Kero Fariata, the minister of finance, had bemoaned the swelling deep-seated misinformation on the proposed electronics transaction and said it affected recognition and passage. Well, interesting. Now, if you have something else to say, say it. Or if you don't have anything to say, then don't say it here. It is Starr Radio UK. Ghana is 65. Ghana celebrated their 65th anniversary of independence. Assures of preserving Ghana's democracy. Well, condemns recent coup talks. Well, if I've talked about that. I was talking about the fact that, well, uprising by the people. I'm not talking about having military bringing guns and do it all, but people saying that we no go sit down to take this no more, and therefore we want our leaders to change, and therefore when your MP comes to your village and you know all the problems, the things that they're supposed to do, they've not done it, then you take the keys to their car, because they're telling you, let's all be in it together, let's pay more tax, and they are enjoying it, right? Okay, so we take your key, we take off your wheels and then go. Next time, when it's election time, you'll be coming to us. You will think twice before you do so. Let the people take the laws into their own hands and fight for their rights. I'm not talking about military. No. What has the country, what has the government done with the taxes or the monies that they've collected so far? What? We have projects that have been left to rot because something that some people call a deal. But if you look at the wastage in our systems, I think it's about time that people rise up. I'm not talking about military. No. Let the people themselves, the citizens, rise up, because they are supposed to defend the Constitution. What about that? Well, we'll be looking at that in a moment. All this coming your way. Minority accuses government of misusing 68 million euros meant for La General Hospital. Misappropriation. Wow. Well, it is all Starr Radio UK. Enjoy this song, and we'll be having Miss Olayomi joining us in the next few moments. It's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Okay.
As God will do it for you.
Everybody, come on, be on your feet. Yeah. Hey. Listen.
And let me sincerely apologize to our listeners on our apps. There seems to be some technical issue there, but our technical team are working seriously on it. And once it is fixed, we'll let you know. But continue to join us on the social media platforms where we are broadcasting live as well.
Yes, obey me every more. Say me come from my name. Yes, obey me every more. Everybody.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK.
Yes, God will do it for you. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. Indonesia, that's what that song is saying. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, because you are with me. So God is with you. So some way, somehow, you come through it. But it's now time. We have Mr. Olayomi with us. And you know what is bringing us? What? Well, updates from Nigeria. So let me go straight to him and say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, it is a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe, and welcome again to the Monday edition of the morning show, where we're going to be giving you all the news coming out of Nigeria this morning. I say good morning once again, and welcome to Starr Radio UK.
Yes. How are you, and how was your weekend?
The weekend was lovely, and it is as much as I would love to have it go longer. But as sure you know that weekend does travel very, very fast. But it was a beautiful weekend. Quality time spent, especially with the family and also our friends and loved ones that have been following us on all our platforms. Over the weekend, it was back to back as well, especially with the greatness of awareness in terms of those that believe in the self-determination. That I am also one that believes so.
Wow. Listen, it's Mr. Olayomi for you in our North London studios, and I'm here, Archie, in the main studios, and we're going to be bringing you updates from Nigeria. So let me say, yes, the president finally has landed in the UK. I don't know where he is, so I would say in the UK. As we know, for medical checkup.
Well, you're quite right. We thought he would never come in terms of on his way from Kenya. There was meant to be the president arriving into London, but that was cancelled, and he literally had to travel back to Abuja. But I can now confirm that yesterday, the president on the Nigerian Air Force have left Abuja. He's currently in the United Kingdom in London. We don't know where precisely. The president has not disclosed his illness. And his handlers, in terms of the media, have always said that the president have used United Kingdom for a very long time, even before he became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that is the reason why he is now, going to be, continue to use that same, medical, help. So I can now say, medical trip Buhari has also handed over to Osibajo, flies out to London, like I said. More details will be given. The Vice President Yemi Osibajo will preside over the nation's affairs for 2 weeks, while President Muhammadu Buhari is away on a medical trip here to London, United Kingdom.
Yes, that's an interesting one. The Vice President taking over the helms until the president comes in. I remember back in was it about three years ago when the president came into London for a very long time, and then we have the vice president who took some measures or passed some laws or something like that, and then the president came and then just annulled everything that the vice president has done. So what was the point?
Well, you're quite right. What's the point? You'll expect that, since the vice president is currently in charge. And I remember there was a particular story of, Babachi Lawal. Babachi Lawal was he was suspended. He's a secretary to the government of the Federation while Buhari was away. There was a kind of, 500 million naira grass cutting scandal, and that was what led to the suspension. Even during that suspension, while he was being interviewed, I'm talking about Babachi Lawal, he said, who is the government? He was literally referring to, that the vice president does not have, the power and, the audacity to, to suspend him. But this was around, then, the EFCC accused Babachi Lawal and 6 others of stealing 500 million in the so-called grass cutting scandal. This came out, in almost 2 years ago, when this scandal came. The former secretary of the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babachi Lawal, and 6 others are now facing new charges at the Federal High Court in Abuja for what we call 500 million. So what Osibajo did as at the time was to suspend, this particular person. But when and some other few things that also took place, but it doesn't seem it all goes well, especially that the president comes back and he's not really pleased with some of the decision that the vice president have taken. So 2 weeks now, let's see how the country will be managed by the vice president Yemi Osibajo until we come back to find out more details. So I'll come back again to you in the studio. I'm not sure whether you can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. We can see you and hear you loud and clear. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji. Anthony, I hope you are doing very well. Had a very nice weekend. Now, interestingly, still on the president and the vice president taking over. Now, can you just imagine? A hypothetical question here. Now, can you just imagine? If it happens that the vice president, we have people from maybe the southeast coming to see him pertaining to Nnamdi Kanu, or Sunday Igboho from the southwest coming to see him and say, you know what, we think that it's about time we and then he makes that decision. Do you think what will happen? Do you think, hypothetically?
Well, you're quite right, especially when you look at those 2 individuals, and if you add Omoyele Sowore as well, making 3 of them, those that have kind of become an icon to millions of followers in Nigeria, as of today. If you look at the IPOB leader as of today is Monday, there's a continuous sit down at home, even though those managing the IPOB have said people can continue with their day-to-day activities, but people have now become stationed to understand that they're doing this not because of doing it, but because it's a solidarity support for Nnamdi Kanu. So the whole of Southeast is completely crippled every Monday since Nnamdi Kanu has been kidnapped and renditioned back to Nigeria. So let's talk about Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho that has also been kept in Benin Republic, and Omoyele Sowore. Could there be something that can turn around while Buhari is not in Nigeria, that the vice president that is now currently in charge can do a kind of a tickle around it? I'm not too sure whether that would happen, especially you've got to remember that they are all still part of the same caucus working, but definitely there might be some kind of conversation that might be going on underneath, maybe, but I'm not sure whether Buhari, especially that the Ohanese have already visited him and asked for the what we call like a plead on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he has already said that it seems Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wants to overthrow the government, and it seems also to him and his government that if Sunday Igboho was also creating a lot of problems rather than those that are trying to solve the problems that the government was shying away in terms of the security, and those that are demanding referendum to opt out of Nigeria on a peaceful way.
Listeners, that's quite an interesting scenario, you know. Should that happen? I'm just thinking, would it be that Buhari would say, this is a coup against me for releasing these people? Or not that could have forestalled peace. So Buhari would say, I didn't do it. I was away, and these guys did that, released them, and then could have some peace in the country. What do you think? Let us hear from you. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Once again, I sincerely apologize for our listeners, those of you on the tuning, and those of you who are trying to listen to us on our apps. There is this. It's not functioning at the moment. The operators are working on it assiduously. So once it is up and running, we will let you know, and then you can go there. So we are sincerely apologize, but we are streaming on all the social media platforms at the moment. So just bear with us. Okay, grab deal. NDLEA arraigns Abakari and 6 others. I was looking at the amount. They're talking about $65,000 or $61,000 worth of cocaine or any drugs, whatever drugs that might be. Some more information on that?
Well, again, who is Abba Kyari? He has pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking. Abba Kyari, is a suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police. Abba Kyari, Monday today, pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking charge filed against him by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. According to Abba Kyari, told Justice Emeka Inwetu of the Federal High Court today in Abuja, following his arraignment along 6 others on allegations bordering on drug trafficking. While Abba Kyari pleaded not guilty to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8 level against him, the other 4 police officers who defend in their trial also pleaded not guilty to count 1, 2, 3, 4 filed against them. But Chibuna, Patrick Umbe, and Emeka Inzanwa, who are the 6th and the 7th defendants respectively, pleaded guilty to count 5, 6, 7 prefer against them. Although their names were not also mentioned in the court, 3 and 4 were allegations bordering on conspiracy were leveled against Abba Kyari and the others as well. They were not asked to take a plea on the 2 count. The 4 members of the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team in charge, Mark FHC Abuja 57 2022, included ACP Sunday J. Ubia, ASP Bawa James, Inspector Simon, and also Inspector John. And also Umbe and Izunwe are the 2 alleged drug traffickers that were arrested at the Akono Imbia International Airport in Enugu. Shortly after taking their plea, the NDLA lawyer Joseph Sunday, the Director of Prosecution and Legal Services, prayed the court for trial date for the 1st to the 5th defendant. Sunday also urged the court to grant a leave to review the charges. So you can see that this is not going to be an easy one for Abba Kyari, because already is somebody that have been of interest, especially with a lot of atrocity that he has committed in the past, and likewise the charges that is wanted for in America, that is already looks like the process will continue according to the report we gave last week on Starr Radio UK.
Well, listeners, Abba Kyari, as to whether he is going to be sent to the US to go and face the laws there, or whatever is going to happen, we're not very sure of it. But whatever it is, let us know what you think about that. Let me say special good morning to Amayo. Amayo, hope you are doing very well. Hope you had a very nice weekend. He says that injustice is a symptom that has eaten the system. Injustice is a symptom that has eaten the systems. Quite thought-provoking there. Thank you very much. Keep your comments coming through. But let's go back to Yomi for some of the other stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Thank you very much. Once again, a very good morning. And as we continue with the headline and the update, let's take you through the rest of the update. World Bank project 4 trillion naira 2022 fuel subsidy. Expert predict more loan. At the moment, the situation with the fuel scarcity is having a big impact on millions of Nigerians as we speak right now. So let's quickly touch on that story, and then we touch on more other headline around that as well. The country director of the World Bank, Shubuham Chadure, says Nigerian decision to postpone the full deregulation of the downstream sector of the petroleum industry by 18 months may cost the country over 4 trillion naira in the subsidy payment on petrol in 2022. He said this when he led some of the executive of the bank on a courtesy visit to one of the mainstream papers in Nigeria. The World Bank country director, however, noted that while the World Bank could not come up with advice on subsidy removal, its role was certainly not to dictate, as it had no ability to do such. So let's quickly touch on some of the other headlines as well as we continue with the Monday edition of Star Radio UK. Vehicular movement grounded at the APC Secretariat amid tight security present. There was heavy security present at the National Secretariat of the All Progressive Congress in Abuja on Monday morning, according to the correspondent on the ground, that all access road directly leading to the Secretariat on Blintyre Street, Wuse 2, have remained condo off grounded vehicular movement. Also, party members as well as Secretariat staff members were not also allowed free access to the premises. One of the security operatives that spoke revealed that their presence there was to forestall any breakdown of law and order, not to effect any takeover as many may fear. This development follow that the Niger State Governor Abubakar Bello has taken over the APC sole administrator following the sack of the Yobe Governor Maya Malabuni as the chairman of the caretaker committee. So each of these political parties has quite a lot of their troubles that they are also resolving internally as well. So let's go and touch on the business, touch on the politics as we continue to say, if you're sending money home to your loved ones, also remember to use the send waves. That also, if you're doing it for the first time, remember to use the Star Radio UK code, which is the S for Star, R for Radio. Jega and Mogalu discuss third force strategy ahead of the 2023 election. We're going to be giving our countdown on Star Radio UK, how many days left. As for those that are also demanding a total halt of not just the constitution, but a full referendum to determine whether Nigerians will want to continue to be part of Nigeria. 340 days, 12 hours, 39 minutes, and the seconds also goes down before the next election. And likewise, those that are demanding that no election is the best option before we can move the country forward because of a lot of issues. I'm going to also be giving what Femi Adesina, the media spokesman for President Muhammadu Buhari, said in terms of if referendum are given, are people going to go along with that? We're going to be discussing about the the groundnut oil that you spoke about as well, that have been scooped. This was on the 5th of March when very close to the Lagos State University. You would expect that Nigerians should not even go close to the side road that the groundnut oil has already spilled all over the place. And the worst case scenario is, due to the country being the capital poverty of the world, people could not care less about their health consequence, but they were ready to scoop the groundnut oil on the floor. So let's look at the third force according to this headline. According to what we know, a presidential aspirant, Kingsley Moghalu, on Sunday night yesterday met with the former chairman of the INEC that said last week that Nigeria is also at the brink of collapse. Professor Atairu Jega was the former Independent and National Electoral Commission of INEC over the third force movement. According to report that Jega and the foremost political economics, Professor Pat Utomi, among others, had in October last year unveiled a non-partisan coalition under the aegis of the National Consultative Front. The forum was said to have been designed to galvanize support for legislation for electronic transfer of election results. Can the third force do it in terms of bringing down APC or PDP, or is the best option for those that believe that a referendum is the only way out in terms of the crisis that has already engulfed in Nigeria, and millions of Nigerians are suffering for that consequence as well? I can also confirm quickly before we go into some of the other headlines, 2 siblings killed, 2 others in a critical condition, as 4 siblings and others returning from a church yesterday were reportedly crushed by a motorist driving against the traffic one way in Alagbado. We've seen this a lot, where vehicles are being driven on a one-way system, and that could also create a lot of problem. And we saw that yesterday. May the soul of those that departed, rest in peace. There was also a particular one at along Oyo, one of the, when I follow that story a little bit, again, it was an accident that led to the death of a multiple lot of people. And it goes according to these, this was again on about Saturday. Somebody witnessed a devastating accident involving a family of 6 in an Highlander car at Busari Oyo Ogbomoso Expressway. 2 people died instantly. There was a little girl that was found, on the dead mother that has already passed on. It took more than almost 5 hours, or if not a little bit more, before even a kind of FRC, which is the Federal Road Transport, could make it down there. Somebody also put under the comment that the woman on the ground is one of my family member. She's my dad's younger brother wife. I am in school and my dad just called me. And somebody said, if you have gone through Iju and Aton Road in Ota, Ogun State, you would understand what a death trap is. The road kills like the Iju River as a force, and it is so narrow. I stay in the Bellsborough. I have visited Aton just over in the last 6 years because of the fear of the road. RIP. And this other one says, people that have passed through that particular road in the past also put out some of their own, comment as well. And this one, which I'm going to be reading now, is something that, again, you could understand, the fear. Somebody said, I had two accidents on that road. This is about 10 years ago in 2012. The second was on my birthday. That is the most horrible road in Nigeria. Just as you say, millions of Nigerians are being killed because of the bad road network. Millions of Nigerians are being killed because they continue, to live in a abject poverty. Millions of Nigerians are suffering, and as we continue to demand justice for Kokoro, that was killed, by those working for the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde. Kokoro, his name, Olamilekan Folayemi, was killed by the group of thugs that are the motor park operator in Oyo State, known as Alhaji Mukaila, also known aka Auxiliary. Kokoro was killed, his head was taken off, he's actually been buried, he still have a mother, children, and a wife, and all we can say is we continue to demand justice for Kokoro. I'm going to come back again slightly to you in the studio, but when I come back, I'll find exactly how Femi Adesina said, even if a referendum is given, nobody's going to vote out of Nigeria. I'm not sure whether that is right, but a lot of people rather want to say, let's give it a go and see if the referendum will work, just as it was done here in United Kingdom when the citizens demanded from David Cameron that they would prefer to know whether they want to leave EU or they want to stay behind. After that result, we saw the outcome, and as of today, United Kingdom have finally left European Union. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back slightly again to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koike in our North London studios bringing you updates from Nigeria. It's now gone, 11:26, and a few of the stories that he's touched on that we're going to be looking at. But before I go on that, Amayo says that Femi Adesina tells Buhari to grant referendum in Nigeria. I will bet you 95% of Southerners will vote yes, yes, yes. Okay, we'll be talking about that in a moment. But first of all, let's look at the APC headquarters in Abuja that has been cordoned off by the police. Now, what was the reason? You were talking about a Niger,
the Niger State and the Yobe,
yeah, who is taking over. What is happening in the APC party, the headquarters or the top hierarchy itself? What is happening there?
Well, we are aware that they will be having their convention very soon, I believe, towards the end of this month, if I'm right. So,
okay, listeners, just bear with us.
Among some of these.
Okay, Yami, go on now.
There's a lot of tension, and likewise, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of tension and there's a lot of pressure. So again, the reaction on the caretaker and the extraordinary convention planning committee of the APC denied report that the president has sacked his chairman. So that again could be the reason why there's a kind of a movement. Remember now that Buhari himself approved the sack, and the report also asserted that the president Muhammadu Buhari has approved Buni sack and Bello appointment shortly before leaving the country to London. So could it be that the president did some kind of some maneuvering around these caretaker chairman while he was on his way out to United Kingdom yesterday, and that has led to a kind of reinforcement on those in that particular situation today. But a statement that was signed by the National Secretary, John, tied to fake news, no leadership change in APC, revealed that the legislative change are not announced by the sources through the name dropping in the media. So we will find out later on, maybe by tomorrow, whether the chairman has been removed. I'm talking about the caretaker chairman, and that could be the reason why there's a lot of management where it has led to a kind of security present at their secretariat this morning in Abuja.
Interesting. So how, I mean, from the top of your head, if you know it, how long has the caretaker chairman been in position?
I'll probably say not too long ago, because just like the PDP ideas, for less than a year, because there's a kind of a lot of maneuvering happening, within this party, especially now that the election is getting closer, 340 days. Most of them, are still this decision whether, to move, the presidency to the south or to the north, and all these, is going to be the game changer. Remember that, the kingmaker himself, Tinubu, who is also the national party chairman, is already moving around the country, giving the, what he wants to be as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Even though we do know that he also has a lot of health issues. Maybe he might be the next president that will end up spending more time, just as Buhari is doing here in United Kingdom, should he become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, the former president, Obasanjo, says that the only way out is for the youth to take over, and therefore we need to get some youth coming in. So they're talking about a third force strategy. Now, so who are they talking about?
Alone. Just even yesterday, Obasanjo saying most of those trying to contest should also be in prison if the system has done the right thing in terms of the EFCC and likewise, EFCC and the ICPC. He said, and I quote, "Many aspirants ought to have been in jail if EFCC and ICPC are efficiently enough." This was when Obasanjo was speaking yesterday. The former president that celebrated his 85th birthday says, and I quote, on Saturday, says some person aspiring to be Nigerian president in 2023 should be in jail at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission perform his job efficiently. You might... Yes, let's continue.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. I have my little producer back in our North London studios doing making sure that things are taken along nicely, checking the sound level and stuff like that. So just bear with us. We are bringing you Starr Radio. You can be so let me call it for you. Before we move on to the next story, I wanted to a quick one, look at one of the ones that you did talk about. Chief Amaya says Chief Obafemi Awolowo is an infallible and indefectible leader, while today's politicians are fallible and defectible looters. So he's saying that in line with what the former president Obasanjo said, that if the EFCC or the various security bodies that are supposed to check corruption were doing their work, most of them will be in prison because he thinks that they've corrupted or they have their hands soiled with corruption. But what do you think? We want to hear from you. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. So now a quick one on the third force that we're talking about there. Now, what has been the momentum so far when it comes to Sowore and the others? You remember in the past election, we had some others who were, the fourth and the fifth ones. I think Sowore was the third, was he, or was the fourth? Sowore was part of those. Within that the third force, but I'm not sure whether a lot of Nigerians will give him that opportunity this time around. Well, we hope to see. I will want to see if they're testing the waters and finding out that going solo will not do it. Going solo will not do it. Okay, listen, just bear with me. So he's giving some instructions. You can go on to give those instructions. Yes. So going solo will not augur well for them, because looking at that the previous elections, general elections that took place in Nigeria, we had Sowore, and I've forgotten the names of those who were they didn't have a party per se, but went threw in their hats for the presidential bid. Now, do you think that maybe this time around they will form what do they call them? some alliance to fight this election. So let's say Sowore becomes the presidential candidate, and then he gets another person to be the vice, and then they can move that way, because in unity there is strength. Now, Amayo says Sowore is a distraction. On what constitution will he govern if he is elected into office? Wow, that's an interesting one. Wow. So if he wants to, I mean, he's thrown, not that he wants to, he's thrown in his towel, his heart in the ring to say that, well, I am going to be vying for the presidency, contesting for the presidency. Do you think he'll be the right person? Or do you think that, as Amayo is saying, what actually constitution is he going to be governing the country on, or if he is elected into office? But we have got Mr. Olayomi back. Now, Yomi, a quick one from there. And maybe you missed a bit of what I was saying there. Do you think that maybe Sowore and the others, the third force, could form a clique or a union to fight this election? We can't hear you. You've unmuted. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, the situation with the Sowore is whether Nigerians actually really want a kind of a new headways. There's a lot of Nigerians that still believe that Nigeria can be performed and Nigeria will be better. But whether Sowore will be given that opportunity now that Nigerians have seen, the disadvantage of the APC, because the APC, when you review and give them the score mark, you realize that more Nigerians are really not pleased, with what promises they were told when APC came to power in 2015. So, a lot of Nigerians thought there would be a where APC will not be given us same opportunity, but rather, the APC came back again in 2019, and that was when Sowore contested. So now that Sowore is coming out, Kingsley Moghalu also contested in 2019. Now you can see that there's a kind of a movement, Patu Tomi, they're all trying to say whether they can bring down the APC and the PDP. Already there's a tension between the APC as well, in terms of where they'll be zoning their presidency to. So all this is kind of whether Nigerians really want a change, and if that change is going to be somebody like Sowore, then he would also have to have a lot of support from those even within the these other strong political party, because we've got to be saying it that the APC and the PDP, like I said at the beginning of February when we came back, that we might see them breaking up to two different fractions very soon.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Let me say good morning to Prince Adebanjo. He says good afternoon to you from Starr Radio UK. We know that maybe you're listening to us from Nigeria. That's why. Okay, and Amaya Jirgine says that asset declaration means he who seek equity must come with clean hands. Modern day African politicians never come with clean hands. Their hands are already soiled with corruption. So they come and fester the whole thing. Now, what do you think about all that? It is Starr Radio UK. Continue to bring your comments through. But now, let's go to Yomi. Referendum. And this says that, well, if opportunity is given to them, majority of people will not vote for to leave the country. How true is that?
Well, that's why people are saying that maybe that should be given that same opportunity to decide whether people will prefer to have a referendum and opt out of Nigeria, or people will rather want to stay in Nigeria. But again, we do know that this government, might not be able to do so in terms of allowing a referendum, to pass through. And that is why there's a lot of tension, among everybody that believe that, a country, Nigeria, must be reviewed, moving forward. So, yes, there's been, quite a lot of, comment, since that, came out. But again, we will have to wait and see whether a government would accept a referendum to decide the fate of the people.
Now, interestingly, has any like individuals, or maybe at times we have the government entities or some of the bodies, the statistical services that can conduct a research to find out if the people are eager, they will want a referendum. You see, at times they do that here. Before we went for the Brexit
of such, but maybe as things are getting drawn closer to the election, we must start seeing this kind of poll, whether from the independent to decide the fate of the people. But I've seen a kind of one that was done in the southeast, but that is just within among the IPOB, that we had the 2 ballot box there, one for the Biafra, one for the Nigerian, and you could be rest assured nobody was going through the Nigerian one. Most of them went through the Biafra one.
Wow. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Koiki is on 11:38 from the House of London. We're going back to him for the rest of the story that he has and what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you, Yomi.
We go straight to the social media because of the time constraint. It's 11:39. Everything called Nigeria today was created and given to us. English language was given to us. Educational system was created for us. Religion was given to us. Democracy was created for us. The name Nigeria was given to us. There is no sign yet. We are ready to change our fate. This is coming from Ifa Funshaw at Funshaw Graphics on Twitter as we continue to look at what are happening on the social media. Osonto Okonko also at General_Osonto says explosive. The DSS are now in collaboration with the Amnesty International to help crack down on the IPOB. In fact, a DSS agent called Abba Amino is currently working at the Amnesty Nigeria. Read this article and then you'll be able to find out yourself. And that article says, and this is also coming from a very popular investigative journalist, David Odoye, that has been I've read a little bit of that article, but maybe by the time I finish reading it I might be able to elaborate on it. But let me just quickly look and give you what he says. In my latest long read on at West Africa Week, I dive into the barely believable story of collaboration between Amnesty Nigeria and Nigerian Secret Police, which has placed hundreds of vulnerable human rights abuses victims at the mercy of the Nigerian state. Like I said, I only pick up this article very early this morning, and by the time I finish reading it, we'll be able to go into it and maybe elaborate more on Niger Voices this week. So this shows that if we have Amnesty International, a human rights fighting organization, but because Amnesty International, from the little I've read, has the big power, because whatever they write out of Nigeria has the pressure across the globe, and it seems now that is now being used to step down those that are either demanding for all kind of things. But like I said, let me quickly say to Nigerians that we do know that this things does happen. So let's look again into some of the other headlines. This is coming from Simon Ekpa at Simon_Ekpa. Those of you that want me to start commenting on APC zoning presidency to Southwest, I can't fall for your trap. I have no business with your Nigeria election. And how do you do it? My only business is to see that nobody will conduct election in Biafra land anymore under Nigeria. I'm going to take 2 more. This is coming from Amaka Ekwewo. People are being killed in Ukraine war needlessly, just like the government of UK helped at Nigerian government to slaughter millions of Biafra people during the Biafra war. So you can see that there's a lot of different communication and conversation. And let's take one more from Ilano UK at UK_Ilano, and this is what they put out. Starve your distraction, but continue to feed your focus towards the actualization of an independent, economical, viable, social responsibility, technologically driven, environmentally friendly, well secured, and self-sustaining hashtag Yoruba Nation. I'm going to come back again now to you in the studio, and this is all is happening on the social media this morning, Monday the 7th of March 2022. It's coming up to 11:42 a.m. on Starr Radio UK.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, for you bringing up this from Nigeria. Let me read a few of the comments here, and then we can bring the conversation to a close on the update. Now, Prince Adebanjo says that Free Chief Sunday Igboho, he has committed no offense. Now, Maya also goes on and say they all want to eat the national cake. Paddy government, chop and clean mouth. Revolution, referendum is the way out. Now, what do you think? Let your comments continue to come through wherever you are. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yomi, let me say thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And take just one comment from this side as well by Olatunja Officer says the Fulani government will never conduct any referendum in Nigeria. This is a suicide mission. Fulani will not try it. And that will be from me this morning. I'll be back again same time tomorrow, but don't go anywhere because you still have Frank and Archie to take you to the rest of the program. I'll be back again same time tomorrow, same time. Bye for now.
Bye. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Olayomi, Tosino. Hey, Tosino. I hope you are doing very well. Yes. It's nice to hear from you. How are you doing? We've been. I mean, this morning I was thinking about you. I mean, I hope you are doing very, very well under the circumstances with everything that is going on. We know it's a challenging time, but I hope you are doing very, very well. Thank you for, getting in touch. Mayo also says that we have done it before in Yoruba land and we will do it again. Yoruba to the world. Well, it is All Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we come back and we'll continue with the program. We're going to be looking at what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in where? All the places. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you go away, but enjoy this song from the Zongo Man. It says the problem of Africa. As Amaya said, paddy, government, chop, then finish, we'll wipe our mouths and we go. Enjoy it, problem of Africa.
The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things? The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things? Them all go to universities, award them degrees. Big degrees. Big degrees. MSc instilling.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In looting. MSc in corruption. Bachelor of Science. Nepotism. MSc in 4 years. Another degree. Bachelor of Arts in discipline. MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things? The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things? Some of them went to London School of Fools, where they were awarded degrees in foolishness, PhD in stupidity, MSc in foolishness, PhD.
Starr Radio for the people, by the people.
PhD in recklessness, Bachelor of Arts in selfishness, MSc in greed. Another degree. BSc maladministration, PhD in quasi-attempt, PhD. MSc in kill your donkey. The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things? The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things?
African is capable of managing his own affairs.
That the African is capable of managing his own affairs. We have let Nkrumah down badly, disgraced him in the eyes of the world. Kwame Nkrumah should have said that the African is capable of mismanaging his own affairs. The problem of Africa is the lead. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the lead. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the lead.
Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The problem of Africa. The problem of Africa. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. Tosino, Facebook just released me from a man's prison. Oh gosh, I join every day, but I can't comment anyway. It's good to be back. Yeah, Tosino, it's good to have you back on the show. Yeah, it's been quite some time, and we hope you are doing very, very well. With the very odd bands in Russia, we don't know how, so it is good that you are able to communicate on Facebook. Well, I know you cannot comment on anything that is going on there, so I wouldn't ask you. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to put you in any trouble from that point. Okay, but a quick commercial break, and then I will bring you what is happening from here, and then I'll be having Kojo, who will be joining in as well to bring us some of his touch or his view on some of the stories that is making the rounds. So stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
We serve a miracle working God. There is nothing too hard for him.
Join Prophet Ajimai Prempe for this year's double portion London Summit at the London Marriott Hotel, Maidavale, London, NW6 5RP from Friday 11th March through to Sunday 13th. Details are as follows: Friday 11th March 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday 12th of March 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday 13th of March 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come and experience the prophetic like never before and hear the word of the Lord for your life. Please call 077-60-276-394 or visit www.prophetprempe.org for more details.
A miracle working God. He's a miracle working God.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Yes, welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK. This evening is at 5 o'clock. My apologies. Regina Nanenima will be coming your way with the On Point that I was going to call her Nanefia. Efia, wherever you are, let me say good afternoon, good morning to you. My apologies. I hope you are doing very, very well. To all the presenters of Starr Radio UK, especially KB Bossman, who was here yesterday celebrating the 65th anniversary of Ghana's independence. 65 years old man. What has he to show forth for? Okay, well, it is Starr Radio UK. Now, let's move on to some of the other stories. I'll be opening the lines in the next moment. Yes, at Tosino, that's why I commented there. Please, my brother, keep your head down and keep safe. All right, then. Good. All right then. So the story that is making the rounds here in the UK. UK is considering widening refugee visas for Ukrainians. The Home Office is examining new application route amid criticism of existing refugee schemes. Those are the stories making the rounds. And world leaders in London for Ukraine talks. And then one dead after Scottish trawler capsized off Norway. I'll be bringing you those stories. And then no need to panic. To our Scottish listeners, no need to panic over Scotland's COVID increases. Yes, we'll be looking into all those stories in a momento. Okay, so the first story talks about the UK is examining widening access to visas for Ukrainian refugees after criticism that existing routes are too restrictive. Now, Home Office sources said they are in the early stages of exploring a scheme to provide humanitarian access to people fleeing the conflict. Now, this will be on top of schemes for people with family in the UK or whose applications are sponsored. Now, only 50 Ukrainians with the UK family links have obtained visas since the war began. A senior government source said that government's focus is the two schemes for Ukrainian refugees that have already been announced, but the need for further action is being kept under review. The European Minister James Cleverly defended the government's record so far, now saying visa processes for refugees had only been set up very recently. Now, more than 1.7 million people have fled Ukraine since Russia began an invasion last month. According to the United Nations, most are in neighboring countries, with the Polish border agency saying on Monday that more than 1 million people have now crossed into Poland. Okay, so Starr Radio UK, that's what the UK government is looking at, but it's still in line with what is happening in Ukraine. We've got the Prime Minister who is hosting a couple of Western leaders, the Canadian and the Dutch Prime Ministers are going to meet him as the Western powers prepare to agree further sanctions on Russia. But the government's refugee policy is coming under scrutiny after it was confirmed over the weekend that about 50 Ukrainians had been granted visas. And meanwhile, Parliament is to pass legislation targeting money laundering by the oligarchs close to Vladimir Putin. It comes amid calls to do more as Russia invasion of Ukraine continues. Now, interestingly, we have issues where when an African country, I remember, I think a couple of years ago or thereabout, or a few months, a year and a few months back there, we had Ghana's mission in, I think, one of the European countries, where they were saying they could see a transaction of money laundering issue that has gone on there. So the high the embassy there was put under some restrictions there. Okay, but when we had the big muzzle, we had Russia, but until now that we have Ukraine, Russia invading Ukraine and everything that is going on, nobody has said anything of that sort, that they were money laundering. So do you think that maybe London should also be sanctioned for money laundering? What do you think about that? It is on Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me announce the lines open because exactly at 12:30 we'll be going to Cyprus, where we have our own HRH Linda Pallien. So every Monday now at 12:30 we'll cross over to Cyprus, where we have Linda who will be bringing you Career 101. So that is a change that I did announce earlier. 12:30 exactly, we'll cross over to Cyprus, so that it gives her ample time to discuss any of the issues that she has to, because it helps you in your business or in your career front. It is Starr Radio UK. One final story from the UK front. One dead after Scottish trawler capsizes of Norway. The story says that a man has died and 7 crew members have been rescued after a Scottish fishing trawler capsized off Norway. The yacht, which left Peterhead on Saturday afternoon, got into difficulty in the North Sea about 100 nautical miles west of Stavanger. Now, rescuers found the crew on the keel of the capsized boat on Sunday afternoon. The Norwegian Joint Rescue Coordination Center, the JRCC, said 3 who had inhaled diesel were airlifted to a hospital in Bergen, and 1 later died. Now 5 others were picked up by an offshore vessel, the Olympic Challenger. The JRCC said there was no radio contact with the stricken 24 meter, that is 79 feet vessel, which was previously called Courageous, when it worked out of Lerwick in Shetland. Okay, a spokesman said they were automatically alerted by the trawler emergency position, indicating radio beacon, which activated when it started taking on water. Interesting technology for you to find a sinking boat. Okay, or a capsized boat. I mean, they are able to do that. But back in Africa, we have the canoes and various boats. Do we have such system on it that if it happens that somebody's boat capsizes or canoe capsizes, the fishing trawlers, fishing canoes that I'm talking about, not the small ones. Can we have anything of the sort? Modern technology helping us? Well, somebody will say we are still using wood canoes to go and outboard motor to go fishing. We don't have such fishing trawlers like this. I mean, well. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's gone 12 o'clock and we're going to take a break. But before then, let me announce the lines open. Now, if you want to join in the conversation, it's 02081332257 or 580208133257 or 58. Okay, and those of you in US or Canada, it's 0017183032737 0017183032737. And then if you want to text or WhatsApp us, it's 07539661744 07539661744 or our Twitter handle. If you want to use that, it's at Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. And once again, I sincerely apologize for the break in transmission on our apps. And those of you who use TuneIn to listen to us, there's been a break in transmission there, but we are working. The technical team are working on it, and we'll let you know as soon as we have any links from there. Okay. When it comes to Career 101, today we'll be looking at 11 skills that are hard to learn. 11 skills that are hard to learn but essential when it comes to your career. That's what we're going to be looking at this afternoon, exactly at 12:30. Okay, the new time for Career 101. Okay, so back in the world front, Ukraine anger as Putin offers evacuation routes to Russia. Now, interestingly, a new Russian ceasefire proposal to allow civilians to flee key cities has been branded immoral by Ukraine. Now, people in Kiev will be offered safe passage to Russia, Russia's ally Belarus, while those in Kyiv and Kharkiv will have a corridor leading only to Russia itself. Now, corridors from besieged Mariupol and Sumy will lead to Ukrainian cities and to Russian ones. Now, 2 ceasefire attempts in Mariupol over the weekend, where people were running out of food and collapsed at the weekend. Now, rocket attacks have continued on residential areas in several cities. Now, Ukraine says warning of an all-out assault on the capital. 4 people, including a mother and 2 children, were killed in a mortar fire as the residents fled Irpin near Kyiv. And now oil prices soared to a 13-year high due to the crisis. Now, interestingly, my issue has been the threats by Putin, saying that if you dare do anything, if you dare, get yourself involved with what is happening, then I'm going to unleash the nuclear, which he has called his people to stand by. But this morning, in another discussion that took place, we had what do you call him? We had, my apologies, there was a call coming through that is throwing me off the line. But this morning, during a discussion, we had the former Prime Minister Gordon Brown, who was of the view that we should call a bluff what we should call it a bluff, what Putin is saying or doing, because you know for sure it's not only him who has the mandate to say I'm pressing the button. He can't only do that. He needs the support of his generals, call it that way, to do that. Okay, and they know that if they take that action, it's going to impact them negatively as well. So do you think that he will do it? So there is of the view that come on, let the West rise up and let's keep kicking, because some way somehow he will not do that. But somebody will say a wounded lion, I mean, we'll do anything. Who has been backed into the corner might spring up and come biting you and killing you. What do you think about that? Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 4 minutes past the top of the hour. And let me say good afternoon to Mr. Darren Togbo. I hope Daisy and the little ones, Dr. Tiana and Dr. Tara, are all doing very, very well. Until a week ago, this atmospheric building near downtown Lviv was the base for the Center of Urban History. But as the rockets began to fall in eastern Ukraine, the people who ran the center turned its libraries, offices, and kitchens into a temporary home for those fleeing the fighting further east. It's a sad one. Where will it all stop or end? Still on those stories, now Russia Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is expected to meet Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba on Thursday in Antalya in Turkey. Now the story says the meeting comes as Russia continues its invasion of Ukraine. Let me finish that story before I put Kofi, who has joined in online. But let me take a quick break. I've got too many calls coming through. Just bear with me.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It is the Monday edition of the morning show. I am Archie and I've got Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin on, and as I've said, the new time is for our Career 101. So we know that we all have to just, if you want to call in, we call in now, and then we can just deal with the issues that we want to talk about. But let me say, Kofi, good afternoon to you.
Thank you very much for allowing me to quickly be.
Yes, how are you doing, sir?
Not bad, not bad. In fact, what triggered me to call?
Yeah.
Is simply because you announced that at 12:30.
Yes,
the program will be over.
Yeah.
And then you announced that Kojo will also come and say a word or two.
Yeah.
So I could see that there's no time.
Yeah. So you have to come in straight. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So I just call in probably to see whether we are going by that or maybe we have to gate crush.
No. Go in. No. Once the lines are open, you can come in. Kojo can come in. Anybody who wants to come in for that time that we have to do the discussion. So over to you. Yeah. Go.
Yes. First and foremost, I quickly want to really. I know it's an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And when people give their opinion, nobody, if we want to have a healthy democracy,
mm-hmm.
should think they have the authority to castigate.
Yeah.
And talk them down. Of course. Opinions come in so many forms, and when they come, our job is to educate, or if we think there's something wrong, we can correct things
mm-hmm.
and set the record straight.
Mm-hmm.
while my brother Olayomi was making his announcement, his contribution, of which he was referring to so many things, he made mention of somebody writing or somebody saying something relating to that everything was given to the Nigerians, and that Nigerians never did anything for themselves. And I think that person who said someone's comment. Yeah, he read someone's comment. Yeah, comment. Yeah, I think that comment is a bit over the top. That even the name Nigeria was given to them, this was given to them. Everything was given. English language was given to them. Yeah. And I think when we do things like this, we've left important things, and we are talking as if we are not thinking. Ask the person, your name, did you give yourself your name? As an individual, for you to say Christianity was given to you, Islam was given to you, everything was given to you, it means something is seriously wrong with you, because you don't even know yourself. Listen, the United States of America, right, was a colony of the British, and all the countries you see all over the world, people colonized them, people formed them, others. Whether you think they are the same or they are different, it was formed. Language, everything was given to everyone. So we shouldn't hide behind what has been done and be giving excuses for our failures. We should rather say, okay, this is where we are. How can we make tomorrow better? Can you see? Yeah. Probably if the so-called British did not go, by now maybe the houses would have slaughtered all of them, because the Belfodios were advancing on them. Yeah. Maybe the Ashantis will have finished all of us in Ghana, because they were coming. Yeah. So let us understand, we've been fighting and fighting and fighting, and today we now have some peace. How can we now move on from where we are? Can you see? And I always say something. The Europeans did not form these African countries for the Africans. They form it for themselves. Of course. We've been saying that all the time. Yeah. Who go and get a donkey because you want donkey to have freedom? You get donkey to ride on donkey. You sit on donkey. Do the donkey job for you. Donkey will do the donkey job for you. And donkey will never have peace of mind and freedom on. Oh, Kofi. Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah. Now, if donkey understand I'm a donkey, then how did donkey change to become the normal lion? This is what we should be talking about. Can you see? Everything we say, they talk every day. They wake up, they disturb us with corruption. That has become a national anthem. Is that not true? What is corruption? Corruption is simply, right? It's a kind of greediness, isn't it? Yeah. And the way it comes is that you take something that wouldn't have come to you. Is that not? It's like stealing. That's not meant for you. Good. If there's a cash machine and people are stealing in that cash machine, they go and then they'll be the cash machine. They go and take what is done. What is the solution? You need a cash machine. Cash machine is there. Bank put cash machine there. People are stealing every day. You call the engineer to go there. Is that not true? Yeah. The engineer will then go and look at what is wrong with the machine that is giving those people who are stealing the chance to steal. And then the engineer will study the machine and find something to do about the machine so that the stealing will stop. Yeah. Is that not true? Yeah. So because the cash machine has to be there. Is that not true? Yeah. When we are telling people that the problem we have is a technological problem, they refuse to understand. Nigeria exports, right, 3.1 or 3.5, between 3 to 3.5 million barrels of oil a day. Go and do the accounting and analysis. You see that the Nigerians are marginalized from the processing of the whole system. All of them. Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. If they have, like the Russians, their own machines made by Nigerians themselves, can you see? They will be able to be part and know how much oil is taken every day, because they will be the managers of their machine. When you go and buy the machine and the engineers come with the machine and they put the machine there and they are stealing everything, who do you blame for your stupidity? you did this is what manufacture your own machine. So if you make your own machine, I build my own house. You know how this olden house is our yeah. when you build it, when you build your own thing, wouldn't you know when the rain is falling for you to know where to go and park?
Oh, of course.
When somebody build a mansion for you, you don't know where they start and and the roof start leaking. What will you do? You go and call them, and make the mansion again.
Yeah.
Let us use common sense and understand that our concern, somebody is corrupt, it's an economic issue. Economic issue is useless if you are not technologically independent. Of course, no nation in the world is 100% independent.
Of course, we depend on each other. Yeah, we are interdependent.
That's why the sanction is coming in. We economically, we are interdependent. We are technologically interdependent, and so we are politically interdependent too, because the three are connected. But if your dependency is the type where, let me ask you a question. I know you are my fellow Ghanaian. Are you?
Yes.
Mention one machine our ancestors did that you can see. This machine, apart from Potowia. You know Potowia?
The one that, I know that one from Kultumri.
Apart from Potowia, and then the you know the one you used to dig to
Yeah.
And even the class they couldn't make a good one. Mention one, and then that fake golden stool they say they made. Tell me one machine that we made that today's world you say we have a machine like the Russians and it's all about copying what some other people have done. Is that not true?
Yeah.
We replicate it. When they say we have replicated it, they have problem with us. We should put something on all of them. There are 50 million across West Africa. What in this thing is difficult for people to understand? Can you see?
Yeah.
Because when someone has got something, they are using to take advantage of you. If you are trying to free yourself, the one that is taking advantage will find a way of making your life difficult. Is that not true?
Yeah. You're right there.
If I'm cheating you, and I know I'm cheating you, and one day you are becoming wiser, what is Russia doing in Ukraine? Because they are seeing that there is some benefit they are getting from the Ukrainians, and Ukrainians are trying to escape. And they are making sure that after the regime change, nobody will go to anywhere again. So that they will keep, because if there's nothing they are getting out of the Ukrainians, you think they will go and be slaughtering themselves and having their own children dying for nothing?
They have a motive why they went there.
There is something to benefit, and the Ukrainians have also seen it. The Europeans have seen it. Everybody is there for themselves. This is India. India said they are not going to get involved. This is China. China said we are looking at our. Tell me, we in West Africa, what are we looking at? What is our own interest there? And so, can't we say that if we organize this, we can afford to say, even the Chinese have been threatening that, if they join the Russians, they'll be sanctioned on them. Are you hearing that voice?
Yeah. And they wouldn't do that. They don't want to destroy the economy, so they won't do that. They won't.
Not that they don't want to. They are learning. You see, be careful with the Chinese because they have their own plan. Their eyes is on Hong Kong and Taiwan.
Yeah.
But you see, this is why I always tell people: the Chinese are very. If you see people eating with two sticks, respect them. I try doing that.
Two sticks in one hand. They're just doing it, picking with that.
How can you eat that small rice with two sticks?
Pick those little.
Fine, I'm learning. It's not easy, but there is something I want you to see.
Yeah,
the Chinese knew the disadvantage. What is making the Russians disadvantaged? Russians have got power, but they have certain. Russians, for whatever reason, they couldn't go into the rest of the world like North Korea.
Yeah,
to have their foot in other parts of the world because they have the power. If Russia says she's going to somewhere, who can stop? If you want to stop it, then you are ready for the nuclear weapons. They're ready on you. That's true.
Yeah.
So because of that. But the problem is that if they say they are going to Ghana, you ask the Russians, what investment do you have in Ghana that you want to go there? Then they can't go because the Ghanaians can say, okay, you can't come here, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Chinese have already come all over the African continent and putting their own resources and their investment and technology there. So in future, nobody can put that kind of sanction to Russia and get away with it because they have the right to go and protect their interests where they've stepped in. Is that not true?
Yeah, yeah.
This is the time we signed the agreement. This is the contract we signed with them. They've committed all of us on the continent into an agreement. So tomorrow, when somebody puts sanction on us, they can. So you see, this is what they did against the Russians. And they are still studying this new development. They are looking at the strength and the power of the Europeans. How far can this?
Hello, Kofi. Kofi, your line is breaking up.
You see that?
Yeah. It's better now. It's better now.
In that neutrality, are they still not trading with Russia? Have they seized anything from Russia?
No.
In fact, today they even come to say that their relationship with Russia is still strong. That then tell you that who can put sanction on them? Have they put any sanction on China?
No.
India too said because the Ukrainians are those who build the Pakistan. You know, Pakistan have nuclear facilities.
Yeah.
The Ukrainians build it for them. And because of that, India also is saying that they are taking neutral side. They are not standing behind anything because if you are my enemy, you
become my enemy.
You are my enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. India is big. What sanction can you put on India? Then they say the president of Ghana, they say the foreign minister in Ghana is warning Putin that they shouldn't touch Ghanaians. There was a very funny lady, Efia Schwarzenegger. She told them that even common, banga.
Yeah.
Popo. We don't have it in Ghana. The lady said, if they say that Putin shouldn't even listen to them. And if anybody has a problem in Ghana, it's only the two of them, the foreign minister and the president. Nobody has any problem. You see, we can, in one common voice, you understand?
Yeah.
Look at this as a game because it's like a game. They did it in, we've seen the thing happen in Vietnam, isn't it?
Yeah.
We see this problem happening in Syria, it happened in Libya, it happens everywhere. Where can we see to say that the dust will settle? Let's just give it some time. Whoever wins is fine. If I'm going to Ukraine, don't I need visa?
Yeah.
I need visa. They can even say I shouldn't come there because of the way I look. Is that not true?
Yeah.
What can we do ourselves when these two people are fighting? What can we get out of
that? Yeah.
Do we think like that?
No.
Are we organized to be able to say no?
No.
We went to United Nations. We were voting. We were sleeping when they were talking about what to do. When they finished, we voted with both hands without even listening to what they had. What kind of
we voted with both hands. Kofi, let me ask you one other question there. Now, if you listen to Gordon Brown this morning, he was talking about the fact that we should call Russia Putin's mistake about the nuclear is a bluff. Do you think it's a wise saying?
You see, I don't know the side where the British and the Americans and the Europeans are. Maybe they have some wisdom that we don't know. You understand? But what I know is that, you see, there are 296 nuclear facilities with the at the disposal of Russians. And America has got 2,900, the same 2,000, almost, it's just about 200 or 300 that Russians have got more than Americans. When you add the British one, Britain have got about 300 nuclear warheads. France have got almost the same number like the British. You understand? When you add that to the American one, I think they may even be more than what the Russians have got.
Yeah, definitely.
But you see, one nuclear bomb landing here in London by mistake, I don't think
I think we need to go to Ghana immediately.
Because my village, we don't even have light, so I don't deserve to die from nuclear bomb. If they are fighting nuclear bomb fight, whatever I can do,
we are gone.
My village, nobody will come there. Now, what we are saying is that we don't even have electricity to clock the bomb. Now, what we are saying here is that Gordon Brown might be one of those when your prime minister, the president of America, the prime minister of Britain, and most people are saying that, you know something, whatever we do not let us go into direct confrontation with this people.
Yeah.
They are dangerous because you see the nuclear facilities. When you throw it, it goes with the ballistic warhead.
Yeah.
It's just a warhead.
Warhead. Yeah.
But if you can intercept it. We've not seen any example of intercepting one before.
Because nobody's used it
we
before.
We know missiles can be intercepted, but nobody has tested a active nuclear launch that has been intercepted before. Nobody has heard it. So we're going to do an experiment.
On whose land?
And me, I don't want any experiment in this case. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
What about if nuclear facilities, when it explodes, even the chemicals that come with it is bad?
Yeah.
Yes, even the chemicals that go into the air is bad. We've made these bombs already. We are not trying to make the bomb. We've made them already.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah.
So Gordon Brown, his voice go very far, a former prime minister. But people like that's why we are telling the professor who added his voice to the noise people are making about coup in Ghana.
Yeah.
You see, certain people must be mature and measured in what they say.
Okay.
When your prime minister is saying, whatever happened, we are not going to go into direct confrontation
with them.
We are saying we should call their bluff. So what do you want us to do? Tell them to try it. That we shall dodge it or we shall catch it. It's not a joke.
When nobody has caught it or dodged it before.
Nobody. It's like somebody die and come back again and tell us what is happening in hell and heaven. Nobody has done it before, isn't it?
Yeah, nobody.
We may gamble, but as we are gambling, you understand?
Yeah.
We should also be wise. This war will finish one way or the other. Either the Ukrainians, what happened in Vietnam? In Vietnam, nobody can say the Americans won.
No.
Because they left.
Yeah.
The war was undecided.
Yeah.
Korea, the war was undecided.
Yeah.
And if the war because both sides are losing in Ukraine. And so somebody will do and say, what are we doing this for? Let's have a peaceful settlement.
Yeah.
And it will end. Is that not true?
Yeah, definitely.
And we have contained the problem inside Ukraine. It started there, let it end there. And you have a man of wisdom coming to, I don't know, but sometimes even the gods make mistakes.
Oh, of course.
Even sometimes, if not so, Hitler's mother will not have given birth to him. Probably Adam will not have eaten the apple. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Sometimes even the gods make mistakes, talk less of what?
Mortals, mere mortal beings. Yeah.
So when our revered politicians are talking, we listen to them carefully, and when they make mistakes, we tell them, you made a mistake, please don't go that way again, this way, because some voices are stronger than some voices.
Yes, of course.
Let us learn without insulting people, without being rude, without being arrogant, without being disrespectful. Can you see? We can still say the truth. You see, that's where when people talk about Jesus, I'm so proud of him. Despite all these problems, he still was careful in what he said and determined in what he was. You understand? He wasn't violent against anyone. He said, let us be peaceful. And Gandhi learned from him, and it was rewarded. The British left India disgrace. You are killing people who are not cooperating. It's passive. They are just sitting there. How many can you kill? And when you finish shedding the blood, you say, no, I think I need to go home because they are not cooperating.
Yeah. Okay, Kofi, just hold on. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, we're going to be running the first part of the program up in the next 2 minutes because we're going to Cyprus where our lady is HRH Linda Pallien. So we're going to be running up the discussion with Kofi. So let's go back to Kofi for the running up, and then we can move on to Linda. Over to you, Kofi.
I want to say, those of us who are given privilege to talk and on such a platform, I think we also have to understand we have a duty when others say things to go back to what they've said and agree or disagree, and then add our own little wisdom to it, because It's not about one man. It's about all of us.
Yeah,
like in Ghana today, when you talk about the independence of Ghana, the only thing everybody talk about is Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
Yes, he did a wonderful job, but Ghana is not about Kwame Nkrumah. Ghana is all about us. And Kwame Nkrumah himself, no, he won't be there forever.
Yeah.
And so the coup should not be our basis. Every day you talk, and every day the same thing, and we can't even think outside the box. Ghana is 65 years old.
Yeah.
We are all involved. We are all part of it, and we should use a sensible and reasonable way and come up with our message. We come up with solutions.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell people. You have seen the problem of someone. You've talked too much about that problem. What about your solution? And my solution is, my Kofi Ali solution is that when are we going to be electing the people who are collecting 0.5% from us? ECOWAS collect billions of money from West Africans. What is the money used for? When are we going to be electing parliamentarians who will ask questions?
Okay.
On that note, if you understand why there's difference between the House of Commons and the House of Lords, you know that the House of Lords and House of Commons, they are all lawmakers.
Yeah.
Do you have any people you know in House of Commons?
A few of them, but the Lords, I don't know much of them. Oh, I know their names. I know a few of their names. Yeah, that's what I should say.
I don't know, and I don't want to know them. All of them. You say they sleep, they are old people. But you see, the House of Commons, they are active. The Prime Minister is from there. The opposition is from there. We elect them. We know them. When you elect people like they do in the European Union Parliament, they are more useful than the unelected one choosing from Ghana Parliament to go to ECOWAS Parliament. All of them do Kadaya. So let us understand, if we want the ECOWAS of the people that collect the money of the people to be useful and responsible for the people, that we shall see technology work in West Africa and stop all the shenanigans we are doing. Let us look at the ECOWAS election, and I'm sure that will save all of us.
Okay.
If one day, because you are young, I am ready to go home because I'm too old. But most of us cannot go because there's no home. One day you will go, then you know what Kofi Ali is going through. So please, it's not too late and it's not too early.
Yeah.
Somebody formed something. It's our duty to make it great. We can make our democracy of ECOWAS as well as Ghana, Nigeria, so greater. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin. Listeners, we're going to be crossing over to Cyprus, where we have HRH Linda Pallien, who is all ready to join us. That will be after this commercial break. Stay tuned. It is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
But necessary key skills that all the successful people have to master at some point.
So 11 skills that are hard to learn, but you definitely need it. Whatever you do, if you want to get to the top, you definitely need that. Okay, interesting. Let me ask you one of the skills. Now we talk about Raducanu, who has won the US Opens. And then I was asking myself the question, when she was playing last time, I mean during the summer in Wimbledon, and then she went out, saying that she had some cramps or some pain, something of the sort, and then she left. So I was of the view that no, she's not got the mental agility at all, so she cannot go that very far. But well, she's proved me wrong, and many others who were also of that assertion. P.S. Morgan, you were also saying the same, and I also said the same. But it looks like she's proved that. Is it one of the things that you think somebody would need, one of the skills that somebody would need to go up there?
Absolutely, that resilience, and if you ever doubt that you would be successful, just look for the sense of resilience, or when you've ever been resilient. And I love that example, and I'll give you another example, which happened about 2 weeks ago at one of my events here, and I thought, you know what, this is the hallmark of a successful person. I mean, having worked in the industry and with a lot of high income earners, I get to see some of the traits that are similarities between these people. But on this particular occasion, we had our event for the women's club that I run. I invited women from all over the island, from all walks of the world. And these are super powerful women who have businesses international. And this one particular lady, she lived about 2 hours away. So she'd had to drive to come all the way to the event, and then go again. And because it was a women's only event and she doesn't really drive at night, she really wanted to be there. And I said, okay, it's a women's only event, so your husband can't be there, so he has to drop her off and pick her up. She was running late, got to the event after having her husband having driven her 2 hours there, got there, and because she was running, she fell just before she got to the event, hit her, and had a concussion. I felt terrible about it, and it really ruined it for me once I found out. But then we got the ambulance, and they came to get her, and she went to the hospital, and she was seen to. And all through the event, I was feeling a bit guilty, you know, for having got this person all the way only to not be able to join the event.
Wow.
Would you believe that she got discharged, and instead of going home, came
to the event? Wow.
Because she said, I said I was going to be here, and I got discharged, and I was going to be here, even if I came at the end just to say I was here.
Wow, that's a very, very wonderful example, because I mean, most of us would have just folded our arms and said, that is it, it is over, let me just go. But for people to have that tenacity, that mental agility to say, I'm going to still go on, pursue my dreams, and still get what I targeted to get that day. Wow. Kudos to her. Yeah.
And I exactly what you said. I thought, you know what, this is a difference between the average person and people that succeed. It was the embarrassment of falling down in front of 50 people. Even just the embarrassment alone, not that, let alone that you're hurt and your makeup is everywhere, and these people who are somewhere that are going to judge you. But putting all that aside, just your goal, regardless of the cost, I thought, okay, well, if anything ever happens, literally, when you fall down, you get up again, and that a version of that, and I really,
I applaud her. Well done. Good. Okay, so what are some of the others?
Right. So I'll share these with you. I'll elaborate on them, and I'll also share with you who I learned these skills from. And the 11th skill is one that I've thrown in there, but I think it's definitely worth having. So the first one is public speaking. And Warren Buffett says this, who everyone knows who Warren Buffett is, and if you don't know, Google it. But he says the ability to be able to stand up and speak in public, and to be able to command the attention of an audience, it's a skill that will get you places, will open doors for you it'll build your skills in terms of being convicted about something. Convicted? I think that's the word. Like convicted about something enough to be able to stand up and speak in front of people.
Yeah.
And the confidence and being able to hold everyone's attention and knowing that you have something to say. So public speaking skills is number one for Warren Buffett. The next one is from Mark Cuban, who says, he talks about competitions, but what I really got about it is don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. The easiest person to lie to is yourself. The easiest person to fool is yourself. You can convince everyone, oh, because this person happened and because I had so many tragedies, this is why I'm not successful. Because I study this, blah, blah, blah. And Mark Cuban talks about this in terms of competition. You think, oh, everyone else is up for promotion, and all of these people have been in the industry longer than me, so I won't stand a chance. Or I am the best in the field because maybe I deliver faster, I deliver better, I'm the world's number one or the number two person, or the personal touch when I sew my garments, that I'm the best taker. He says, look, you are saying you're number two, and that's a lie to yourself, because guess what? Number three isn't sitting there going, oh yes, I'm number three and I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Working on it. Coming past you.
It's working to move you off your spot.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Then be like, oh, I'm the best, and it's a continuous process. The earlier you're honest with yourself about what your shortcomings are, what you can do better, and keep improving rather than lying to yourself, the easier it will be for you to be able to move forward. And this comes with jobs as well. Oh, my job is safe because I do so much, they can never replace me.
Yeah.
Just like that, you're replaced. Even if the person is not as good as you, you're still replaceable.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself. And this is from Mark Cuban. The third one is Robin Sharma. Be confident. Be confident. And confidence sounds like such an easy skill and something that you can put on, but there's a difference really with faking it till you make it and being convinced of the idea so much so that you're willing to bet everything on the line for it. And I always use Elon Musk as an example of being confident that even though this company is not making money forever, you're gonna still pitch your business plan and keep your investors on board because you are so bought into it that you bring others around even if they don't see results. And to relate to people, it's like confidence is almost like having faith, right? Like having faith is Jesus Christ and the heaven and all of that stuff. It's that I know I'm going to be successful. I know this book is good enough. I know this is going to help people. And being so convinced about it that people say, she must know something. That's what, like she must know something or she believes in it so much. I believe in it too. So do you have confidence in yourself enough to be able to convince other people of your idea or what you're going to do? And if you're not, then ask yourself if it's the right thing for you. Be confident. The fourth one, which I think is quite interesting, is by Simon Sinek, which says, speak last. Speak last. And he uses Nelson Mandela as an example, but I really want to use Ghanaian traditional chiefs as an example. And so any tribal family, if you go to the chief's palace, you have everyone that speaks their side before the chief rules on it. And someone asked Nelson Mandela how he became a good leader, since he's arguably one of the world's greatest leaders. And he said he came from a tribe, and his father was one of the people in the palace. And the chief always spoke last. And he says whether you agree with someone or disagree with someone, don't shake your head, don't nod, just listen. And it's a twofold benefit. First, everyone a chance to be heard first. If you're a leader, it doesn't mean that you speak first and then later on ask people what they think, because you've already influenced what they think. I tell, oh, this is the plan, what do you think? But if you hear everybody's side, then you're able to, one, understand where everyone's coming from. It's as a leader. What's his name? Simon Sinek always says, speak last and you'll be in a better position to be able to be better informed about what's going on, what people really feel concerns. Even if you already have your mind made up, you'll be able to know where people are at. So that's the fourth one. Okay, well, we'll run a little bit. The fifth one is by Bishop T.D. Jakes. I think a lot of people would know him. And it's talking about using your time effectively. Use your time effectively. And this one hit me hard. I felt like I was in church.
Yeah.
Use your time
effectively.
He says, so that there's the 80-20 principle. He uses that in this example when he says, most people spend only 20% of the time doing things that they're great at, that they're excited about, doing their passions or things that they're meant to be doing. And 80% of the time you're busy doing nothing, taking a phone call, browsing the internet, whatever it is, but you're not working on your zone of genius. And he says creativity takes time. So you need to make the time to create things. And they said there's no lack of money, just a lack of creativity. And if you're investing your time in creating stuff, then you're not going to move forward. So it's really understanding where your time is spent and adjusting it to suit your goals and your dreams. And this might mean saying no to other things. This might mean depriving yourself of something else to be able to work towards that dream. So you can't get time back. It's like money you can get back, anything back, time.
Scarce commodity. Very, very scarce commodity. Well, listeners, HRH Linda Pallien this afternoon bringing you Career 101, and we are looking at 11 skills that are hard to learn but very essential. You lose it or you miss it, you're not going to go very far. So please continue to listen to her. Let me acknowledge Ibrahim Bolagade, and he says good, thumbs up to you, because he is enjoying what you're saying at the moment. And to every one of you listening to what, share the broadcast, is very, very important. But I promise you one thing, it will be on our Facebook page, on our Twitter, and all the social media platforms as well. On our apps, it's going to be on the podcast as well. But we still got a long way to go. So continue to listen to us as she unfolds the 11 skills that are hard to learn but essential. Over to you, Linda.
So the next skill is quit complaining. And this is by one of my favorite people, Ian Lavanta. She's an African American lady, and she says the amount of time we spend complaining about something, bitching, whining about something, is a lot more than we actually realize. Why did this happen? Who did this? Why wasn't it done this way? I can't do this because of that. And all the time we spend moaning about something, even the littlest of things, it takes away the time that can be put in creating and being productive. Because when you're moaning about something, you're not asking, how can I make it better? You're asking, why is it happening? And there's a saying that says, if you ask a stupid question, you'll get a stupid answer.
Of course.
Why did this happen to me? Why not?
Why not you? Who do you want it to happen to?
And she came no whining Wednesdays. So on a Wednesday you can't complain about anything.
Okay.
And if you put a quarter in a jar. And she said, do it for one Wednesday and see how often, or how many quarters you've amassed, or how many pennies, 50s, whatever it is for you, you've amassed. And it's just to visually see the time we spend complaining rather than finding solutions to everyday challenges that we face. So definitely I'll encourage you, even if you're not doing the quarters, just to note or listen, if not for yourself, but other people. And why, or you complain about something. And that includes, oh, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I can't do this, I'm hungry. That's all whining. Our sixth skill is be present. Be present. A lot of, especially at work, a lot of us are at work, but our minds aren't there. A lot of us are here in the moment, but our minds are, what's for dinner? Am I going to go shopping over the weekend? I'm going to do these plans. Or yesterday I did this, could I have done that better? And then basically the past puts you in, looking into the past puts you in a lot of regrets and reflection, but you can't change it. You spend a lot of time in the future, it just makes you anxious. But if here and now, you can control the present and what you're doing, and you can do it to the best of your ability. So really being present and conscious about doing the best you can in the given moment and not worrying about the future or the past helps you to make the most of every given moment that you realize. It's not the easiest thing to always live in the present, but to bring as often as possible. That's what meditation is, right? Or being conscious, bringing yourself back to the now and making yourself aware that, okay, now in this current moment, I'm on Starr Radio and I'm doing my best, and that is enough. Or I'm listening to this and I'm fully listening rather than checking my phone and half listening, or something else, or planning the next whatever is to come. Again, there was another one for me. And then one of my favorite ones by Arianna Huffington is get enough sleep.
That will be in the next life.
Get enough sleep. And I thought, how is this a good business skill and all of that stuff? But she explains that if you don't prioritize the sleep and you wake up tired, or you wake up not having had enough, then it gives rise to all of what we've spoken about. You're not the best version of yourself there. You're not present because you just want to go back to bed. And she says, and that involves saying no to things. She says a lot of the time she does a book signing or a speaking engagement, and of course there's a party after for her, or somebody wants to take her out to dinner. And she said it's the hardest thing to say no. No, I need to go to bed. And it's not because she doesn't want to be there, it's because prioritizing that sleep means that for the next morning she's well rested and she can be her best the next day too, rather than partying into the night and then living on borrowed time.
Where you cannot give your best when it comes to that. You cannot, no way.
Exactly. And so for all my people that go out on the weekend and Sunday night and are not their best on a Monday or on a weeknight, it's not just because you're hurting your boss. You're building up this character that becomes your habit. A lot of the time, employees think that the only person that's suffering is their boss. If I sleep on the job or rest on the job just because I'm tired, I will make up for it another day or whatever. And yes, you might be able to get away with it at work, but in your subconscious, you're programming yourself to be that person. That is hard to do, and that's more damaging. The sales call that you didn't do, or whatever you think is harming your boss by you not being present, And then last but one is have empathy. Have empathy. And empathy, as opposed to sympathy, is when you feel sorry for someone, you sympathize with them, you know, but when you're sympathizing with them, you're feeling their pain, or you understand their pain. When you're empathizing with them, you put yourself in that person's shoes to feel what they're doing. So sympathy is external to you. Empathy is embody that. Meryl Streep, again, a huge celebrity actress, and she says empathy is one of the skills that you'll forever need in whatever business you do, whatever career you do, to be able to empathize with someone else. It gives you a level of understanding of people and consciousness that you wouldn't if you don't hone the skill of empathy. You know, if you can put yourself in your boss's position, you can understand maybe why you're not getting your pay rise just yet. If you can in your customer's position, you can serve them better because you can understand their needs and their worries. And yes, they're screaming in your face, but you can imagine what's going on and sort of deal with the root cause of the issue rather than the outcome of it. Put yourself in the shoes of your patients. If you put yourself in the shoes of your cleaner, if you put yourself in the shoes of your spouse, it helps to build that human relationship, which means you can build a deeper connection, and they get to know, like, and trust you, and you can have a better working relationship. You can negotiate higher. You can sell anything to anybody. You know, understanding people is a top skill. Empathy and being as empathetic as possible really stands you in good stead for success. And finally, and this is by Linda Pallien.
I love that one.
And I think I've touched on it a little bit when I was talking about empathy, but it's learn about people. Learn everything you can about people. Okay, and when I say that, I mean everything from their name to building relationships with people. I always say that understanding people, because you're always going to deal with people, whether it's with a child or whether it's with an adult or whatever, you're always going to be surrounded by people. No man's an island. And just understanding people helps you so much to be able to get anything that you want. When you learn about people, you understand that if people like to hear their names repeated back to them, if you're trying to build a relationship, and you may have noticed this, if you're on the sales call and they say, "Good morning, am I speaking to Mrs. Person?" They keep repeating, because it builds that familiarity quicker. See, the sweetest sound to people is the sound of their own name. So if you understand that, you can use that to your advantage. If you understand people, you can build relationships. You can put yourself in their shoes. You can understand your suppliers and build a better relationship. Oh, okay, I work with Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith really cares about tennis, and this is important to him. If I'm trying to explain to Mr. Smith why his goods are not going to be delivered on time, maybe using a tennis analogy will help me, because he understands tennis, and I can say, well, the racket by this provider hasn't been, this understanding people to a level that other people won't. Relationship, a deep relationship with someone, and being able to have them onto your side than not. If you're talking to your boss and your boss, your boss is going through a divorce or whatever it is, and being able to understand where they're coming from and relate to them on their level will help you build a better relationship with them. You may decide then, I'm not going to bother them with this because it's not urgent, and say, I know you're going through a lot right now. After this is all over, there's a couple of things I'd like to discuss, rather than going, when have you got time for me? I need to talk about my pay rise, talk about my stuff going on with and it's the same thing. There's an issue to be spoken about, but there's a way to do it that will get them on your side, and there's a way to do it where you sound like a pest. So learning about people, building relationships, again, key top skill that you'll need everywhere. Kids, even if you're dealing with your own kids or the kids of other people, elderly people, putting yourself in their position. And this is where I commend the nursing home staff for, understanding, okay, well, nobody's first choice is to come stay here and not spend their last days in their own house that they've built. So coming from a place of understanding, which I see most nurses do, and going, oh well, but here's a couple of flowers to cheer you up that are similar to the ones that were in your garden. I saw that in your picture. Just building that relationship, these little details that means the world to someone, makes a difference between I love this person or this person works here.
Yeah. Wow. Listeners, it's been a very, very wonderful edition of this Career 101. And today we're looking at 11 skills that are hard to learn, but very, very essential. You cannot do without it. If you really want to be successful or be counted, be standing and be counted, then you definitely need that. I try to note a lot of them, but somehow I think I've missed some of them. Now, if you are in the same shoes as I find myself, or the same situation, you know what you can do. You go back to the broadcast, okay? Whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or Periscope or all the other social media platforms that we are transmitting live on, go back there and you have that as well. But it's going to be ready on our podcast in the next 5-10 minutes. It should be ready there as well. Go there and have a real listen, because I always say it and I'll continue to say it. In the midst of abundance of water, it takes only the fool to be thirsty. So the resource is there for you. Why don't you take advantage of it? But I was trying to get Linda some of the books that she's written that has got all that she said, packaged in a way there for you as well. But she's here herself and she's going to be telling you more about that and how you can also contact her. Over to you, Linda.
Fantastic. If you're interested in really developing yourself and moving to the next level of your success, whatever that is for you, whether it's going to from 0 to 1 or 9 to 10, definitely get in touch with me. As Archie was saying, that I have my books that have come out. They're called the Career Series, so the career books, and this shows you step by step how you can improve your career. So we have the first book, which is How to Career, and it takes you on how to build a career, how to choose a career, how to even navigate between the voices in your head, whatever your parents are telling you, whatever society is telling you to go into as a career, and also and what is really in your heart that you'll be really successful at. So that is the book 1, How to Career. Book 2 tells you how to excel at that career once you've discovered what career path is your natural path to wealth. So book 2 is highly recommended to everyone who is looking for a promotion, looking to build a name for themselves, have just started a business and looking to improve it, raise their profile, advance their career success. It's for you. And then of course we've got the career workbook, which is a practical book. It's a workbook, as the name suggests, and it will give you prompts on any area of your career success, what you're missing and what you need to be looking at. So you can find all of these career books on Amazon, amazon.co.uk, amazon.com, Amazon around the world. Type in Linda Pallien Career and it will come up. They're about $20 each. Book 2, if you're confused of which book to buy, start with book 2. Book 2 is a summary of it all, and it honestly is the best value for money in any career book. And in my years of teaching career advancement, I've seen a lot of material, and this book has everything in it. So definitely look into it. And if you want to work one-to-one as well, you can contact me, lindapallien.com, and there's a calendar there to book a chat with me. I'll be happy to chat with you, even if it's just to discuss your problem, have a one-off session to see how we can help you move forward with your career goals.
Well, Linda, let me say thank you very much for that wonderful submission or presentation this afternoon. Well, listeners, this is where we're bringing the program to a close for today. Yes, tomorrow morning we'll be back once again, God willing. If anything, everything goes on very, very well. We don't have Putin invading UK. I'll be bringing you another edition of the morning show. So on that note, let me say thank you very much to my colleagues who were on the program today, especially to Mr. Olayomi and Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin and Kojo and Felix. Thank you very much, gentlemen and lady, for another wonderful. Those of you who were with us on the Facebook, just so you know, it was very lovely to hear from you. So that note, I say have a top of the day. It's with me, Archie, the one and only, saying bye-bye for now. Enjoy this song from the Zongo Man. It says, where is the dollar?
Starr Radio UK.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.